What's up, level uppers? Welcome to the Level Up Show, episode 241. This is a gaming dedicated talk show on every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm one of your co-hosts, Andrew I Make Chomadori, and tonight we're joined by the B's from the E's, Dean Marchese. Hello. And I don't know where Mike is. He hasn't texted me.
Alive.
Hopefully everything's okay, because he didn't tell me he was going to do Discord tonight or anything like that. He's probably on his way here, but I have not gotten a message from him yet. But I'm sure Mike will join us very soon. But we're very happy to have Dean joining us tonight. I reached out to Dean this week. I felt like it was very fitting to have the leader of Power Up on the show in the week that, very unfortunately, we lost a legend in pop culture, in the comic book industry. Of course, Stan Lee departed this week, unfortunately.
How about it, dude?
Yeah, I mean, we all knew it was coming, right, eventually, but...
You knew it was coming, but a lot of people said it best. It was just like, if there was anyone you expected to beat death, it was Stan Lee. Like, you just can't...
Yeah.
You couldn't imagine it happening.
Even at 95, he looked like so spry. He looked so good, even at 95. So you wondered, like, could he just go like another 10 years? Could we have another 10 years of Marvel cameos from Stan Lee?
Yeah,
you never know. But real quick, thank you so much to the Nerd Stash coming in with that 9-viewer raid. Appreciate that so much. Just pop it up on stream right there. Anybody that doesn't know the Nerd Stash yet, I don't know how you don't, because they've been supporting us for such a long time. But they're an amazing group of people over there that support Extra Life every single week. That's their thing. That's what they do there. And they've raised, at this point, I'm not even sure. They were above $20,000 before Extra Life this year.
That's awesome.
So I'm wondering what you're at now. Nerd Stash, if you're in the room, please let us know where you're currently at for your for your yearly goal as far as the Nerd Stash and Extra Life goes. And welcome to anybody coming in with the raid. As I was just saying, I'm Andrew. This is Level Up Show. We do this every week here, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, talking about all the big gaming industry news. But of course, we'll venture off into some superheroes. We'll venture off into some comic books, some movies, some television. Tonight, we're especially going to be paying tribute to Stan Lee. You have to. Anybody that's in our culture, doesn't matter if it's gaming. We all know Stan Lee. We all love Stan Lee. Even if you're not into comic books, he had a personality. He had an aura that emanated from him that was contagious and intoxicating. And he was a wonderful force to have in the world. And a world without him, I am somewhat concerned with. You know what I mean?
Really.
He was such a positive part of it.
I know. It's really crazy. Like, I am, for one thing, we'll get all into it, but
of course we will.
I am thankful to have been alive right now and not be in the future where, like, we're reading about this guy and, like, all the amazing things he did for, like, entertainment and fiction, and, like, we lived it. It's kind of awesome that, like, we were here for one of these, like, pivotal figures, I feel like.
100%, man. Yeah, the thing is, his legend will live on forever, and we'll talk about that a lot. Of course, we're going to talk about his body of work and especially the impact he made on us and what we feel the impact he has made on the world as a whole. They said they hit $25,000 now for Extra Life this year. That's unbelievable. Congratulations to you guys, and thank you so much for the work that you've put in throughout the entirety of this year. Anybody that hasn't followed the Nerd Stash yet, please click on their name in the chat there. It says it right now with the raid message. Click on that link and give them the follow, please. A group of streamers there, of course, that are taking part in raising money for Extra Life. It's not just one person; it's a multitude of people there. So, Dean, tell me what is going on with you as far as gaming goes, though. Like, what have you been playing? What's your life like right now with gaming?
What a loaded question you just laid on me there, Andrew. I've been playing a lot, dude. I've been playing. All right, I'll tell you what I've been playing, and you tell me what you'd like me to spend a few minutes talking about.
Okay, please. Right?
Some things will be more interesting than others to discuss, but I'll let you choose. All right.
Tetris Effect.
Tetris Effect. Can't stop, won't stop. Love it, dude. It's so good.
Is it worth $40?
I paid $35, I think.
Okay.
Because of the PS Plus discount. It was you got a discount for, I don't know if it was just a pre-order or for having PS Plus.
Okay.
But I paid $35. In my opinion, yeah, because like I've probably put in already like 20 hours. Like, I played a lot of fucking Tetris, dude. Yeah.
Now, I remember you saying in G-Chat that you could not get the platinum in this game, though.
Somebody did.
Somebody did first before you? Oh, no.
Yes. It
You were
was
so close.
0.0 and now it's 0.1. So some slick SOB out there got that platinum.
So what
And I
trophy are you
don't
having
know
problems
how.
with?
Okay, so a few, because you have to get like double S rank on, I don't know, like 10 matches or something. Like there's a bunch of different modes, and then there's journey mode, which is like the story mode.
Okay.
And then the one thing is like get SS rank on whatever 10 matches, and then it's like get SS rank everywhere possible that you can possibly get that rank. And so like I don't even know what the requirements are for S rank, let alone SS rank. I'm pretty fucking good at Tetris. I'm not trying to be like, super cocky or anything. I'm not great at every game, but like Tetris is my game.
That's your thing, yeah.
So, dude, I'm in there. The one thing is like I got an A for like I don't know 25,000 something like that. I'm like, oh, okay, let me run it again. 30,000 A, 35,000 A, 45,000 A, and then I got up to like almost 60,000, and it was like S rank. I'm like, what do I gotta do to get the SS rank?
So there's a double S rank. There's something even above
Yes.
S rank. Oh my god.
Yes, and because it's so difficult and like you have to be like at the top of your skill, there's no trophy guide. So because nobody like out there,
Nobody's gotten there
like,
yet.
Yeah, like nobody's good enough to make the guide. So I'm like, I'm flying blind stick out here, man. I got like 74% of the trophies though, which I will pat myself on the back because some of them are pretty tough.
Very cool. I mean, visually, it really is a cool looking Tetris game, and I hear
It's
the music
awesome.
is phenomenal.
It's so good. Yeah, for someone like you're a lot like me with your appreciation for music. It's worth it for that alone. It's awesome, dude.
I think for me, I like Tetris. Don't get me wrong. I love Tetris.
Sure.
It's one of the greatest games ever made. But I think for me, I probably would wait until like the $20 range. I think would be a fitting price for me getting that.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There's plenty, there's tons of other stuff to play.
Then I just spent 60. I actually did take the plunge. I bought Pokemon Let's Go.
Oh,
So,
nice, dude.
I don't know what it was. I was watching a few people play it on Twitch, and I haven't played a Pokemon game since Red and Blue. And it's fitting that this is essentially, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a remake of Red and Blue, right?
It's a remake of Yellow, the exact map.
Okay, which is the same one, but with Pikachu, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, this is like me finally playing Pokemon for the first time since the original version of this came out, kind of.
I have this copy of Pokemon Red is my original copy from
Game Boy Color?
grade. Yep.
Game Boy Color. Yep, that's what I played it on.
This is
Game
my
Boy Color.
original game save, all 151 Pokemon. I've had this since 4th grade. This thing's just, I've managed to not lose it or anything like that.
Yeah, when I was watching these streams, it just like hit me in the nostalgia hole. I just felt it.
I get it, dude. I was on the fence, and then it was like it got up to like the day before it came out. I was like, I gotta get it. I need it.
Yeah. Did you go with Eevee as well?
I'm gonna, when I finally get it, I'm gonna get Eevee. Yeah, because you can catch Pikachu in the Eevee version, but you cannot catch Eevee in the Pikachu version.
I heard that, yes.
So if you get Eevee, you can get both.
That's why I went with Eevee. And my daughter's name is Eevee, so come on.
Perfect.
You just have to.
I want it. Jen asked for like a few things she could like pick from to get me for Christmas, so I put that on there, and then I figured if she doesn't get it, I'll just go out and buy it.
Okay.
But so yeah, Tetris, Spyro. Not too much to say about Spyro. It's awesome. It's a collectathon.
Yeah.
But holds up, dude. Games are super fun.
Reviewed pretty freaking well, man. It got like in the 80s,
Yeah.
I want to say. That's a solid score for remastering games from the late 90s. So that's pretty solid. Same with Crash Bandicoot, man. They both reviewed pretty well.
Yeah, there's definitely an appetite for these like mascot platformers for sure.
Like full on remakes, 1-to-1,
Yeah.
not a reimagining, but yeah, like a 1-to-1 true remake of these classic mascot titles. I wonder who's next.
I don't know. I personally only played like a little bit of Spyro 2. And I never played 1, I never played 3, and I barely played 2. So these are all like new games for me, which is pretty cool.
Well, the next one, now that I think about it, is Medieval. That's the next one.
Yeah.
That's already been announced. I have to give a shout out to Jersey Tom. So we had Jersey Tom here for the first 3 hours of Extra Life. And
cool.
when we had him on the pre-show, it
In
just
person?
so happened, yeah, we had him here in person. He was sitting
nice.
in your original seat over there.
Okay, nice.
And it just so happened that like Extra Life materials in the pre-show were covering his face. So everybody thought it was you. He's like a good, he's like a good 5-6 inches taller than you. But I will admit, in like sitting position, it did look a lot like you. So the moment it went to full stream, everybody was pretty thrown off. So now he's, as you can see, he's Negadine now. He's the anti-Dean.
I love it, dude. That's such a good troll. That's really funny.
He was a really nice guy though, Jersey Tom. Of course from Jersey.
Oh yeah, I love
and his
Tom,
buddy.
dude.
They call me Denny. Both from Jersey. So those guys rock, and we're hoping to get both him and Denny back here in the near future. Maybe we'll do like a. They really enjoy code names because if you remember, remember when you were here playing code names. Jersey Tom was one of the guys playing code names with us.
I remember.
And that's a good time, man. We played that during Extra Life again. Code names. That's a good time. That's
it's a great game. I had a ton of fun playing that.
Yeah, so and we had a better camera set up this time. Like I have like a PVC pipe now set up on the ceiling so that it can like rotate down and bring the camera literally 6 inches away from the table. So it was like nice, much more crystal clear quality.
Also, hello everyone. I saw your messages. Hi, I'm not ignoring you.
Hi.
It's really nice to be able to like pop in and out here and still have like a little cluster of people not be like, who the fuck is this?
I mean, you did the show for 2.5 years and not much has changed as far as our community goes. So yeah, you're gonna get that I think forever pretty much.
So what I'd like to talk to you about, Andrew, because I assume you're still playing this as well, is the final thing on my list that I've been playing Black Ops as well, but we don't.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that. Yeah.
I have the most complex relationship with Red Dead Redemption 2.
It's an interesting experience. I know exactly where you're going to go with this.
I am
the combat is nothing special. It really isn't.
Agreed.
It's nothing special. It's auto aim, get behind cover, pop out, it auto aims to the guy, you shoot him. It's the same thing every time pretty much.
I checked my settings because I was listening to a podcast and they were like, it's pretty easy. It just auto aims to the person. My auto aim is on. My shit does not lock.
So if you are pointed in the direction of an enemy while in cover, point in the direction of them. So the reticle looks like it's in their area. If you pop out with L2, right? I think to pop out of cover, it will automatically aim at that person. So you can just do that every time. You can just pop in and out, just get the reticule in the area of the person, and then when you pop out, it'll immediately go to them, fire off, go back behind cover, aim at the next person around the area of that person. Once they pop out as well, it'll auto aim to them. So it's really easy in that way. That's
interesting too, because I rarely ever go to cover or lock to cover rather.
Really?
You know what I mean? Yeah,
well, that might be your problem.
Probably. I hide behind things. I forget because the game does. I'm not here to shit on Red Dead. There's a lot I like about Red Dead.
Yes, I'm with you.
An equal amount that I dislike, I will say. But the game does such a poor job at like reminding you or like initially teaching you about like what the fuck you're doing.
It's this weird balance, right? Because we complain on the show, Mike especially complains on the show about hand holding, right?
Has Mike been playing it?
No, he hasn't touched it at all.
Okay.
But that's like Mike's thing, right? He doesn't want them to tell me anything. Let me go through this game and figure it out all on my own. And I get that. But this is one instance where I'm with you. There's just so much going on in the menus of this game. And I feel like I have no idea what half of them are or how to get to them. And sometimes I feel like certain things are just buried way too deep. Like, why is it so hard for me to get the mask out on my face? I feel like that should just be like quick button to press and have the mask go on my face.
Thank you. It should be up on the D-pad to put your fucking bandana on.
I feel like they're not utilizing the full controller layout. I feel like they're not utilizing all of the buttons there. There's so many buttons that they could be using. And
also, I would like to take this public opportunity to curse the person who decided to be innovative and not put the map on the touchpad. Why? Every other
holding down option. You have to hold down option. Yeah.
Why?
There's some interesting decisions. Although go on any like forum and there's a topic dedicated to here is all of the settings you should change in Red Dead. Change this, this, and this, and this. Change the controller layout to this and this. And this is the way to play the game. But then I'm like, why the hell should I have to do that? Exactly. That is not the way this should work. I should not have to bury myself in the internet trying to find the best possible settings for a video game. They should be the default.
100%. I'm very glad to hear you have these criticisms, because just talking through like ancillary chat through our group chat, like I'm not like, I always feel like I sound like fuck this game to death and everyone's like it's great, but like there are problems that I feel like most reviewers should have brought up.
It is great. Don't get me wrong. It's a great game. I mean, a great is like an 8.5, right? Killing it. It's without a doubt. I would give it a 9 even. It's for sure, I think, a 9 because of what it does do so well, which is the world, the story, the characters, the voice acting, just immersing you in this Wild West. I feel very immersed. It definitely accomplished that. And some of that does, I would assume, have to do with them not hand-holding and just throwing me into this and making me figure things out and soak it up. That's probably a part of that. That being said, it's just too much. Dude, and the fact that it has a 97 on Metacritic and is like the highest rated game since Breath of the Wild, it might even be above Breath of the Wild, which I also think might be a little higher than it should be. I'll find out once I start playing it. But there's got to be some bias going on here, because I'm with you. Like, how did nobody that I've seen critically touch on some of these really last-gen mechanics and features? It really is last generation in many aspects. It's great. It's a great game. Don't get me wrong. It's a great game. Does so many things so well. Right, but there is certain aspects of that game that are last generation. Yes, so it's a little bizarre to see it brushed over in pretty much every single review.
I'm on like chapter 2, but I've played like 15 to 20 hours at this point.
Yeah, I played over 20, I think.
And they still haven't patched this shitty HDR for PS4 Pro.
Really? I'm surprised.
I just turned it off because it looks like complete trash.
It blurs it, right?
Yeah, it's like, it's crazy bad.
What's interesting too, Dean, is you'll see none of the critics, talking about this stuff, but go on, I'll just, my site. I made this site. It's called Resetera. Did you know I made that site?
I did, yeah. You were, yeah.
I made that site. I heard so go on that site, and half of the Red Dead topic is people much actually more egregious than you when it comes to complaints, like saying that it is a bad game, like saying that it's last generation, it's a bad game, and that's like half the people in that topic. How can you have half the people in the Red Dead topic saying this shit and not one person critically, as far as games journalism goes, touched on these things? It's kind of bizarre.
It is like, because it's Rockstar and Red Dead, that is all they had to do for people to be like, they did this on purpose, they did that on purpose. Like, no, dude, like
maybe they did do it on purpose, but that doesn't mean it's a good thing.
Yeah, maybe, but like a bad mechanic or poor design is like intentional or not. Like, it should be called out. And some of these, I'm like, oof. I definitely would have waited and like bought I still would have bought it eventually, but like I would have waited and bought it on sale, because like I'm struggling, dude. Like it is work. Like it's so fickle, because like you said, I really like Arthur. I never played the original Red Dead. I should also say that. So I wasn't really sure what to expect, but I really like Arthur. I really like the world. It's a beautiful game. It's super immersive. From what I've seen of the story so far, I'm like, this is super cool, dude. And like some little character moments here and there. Like there's some really small things that really draw me in, that keep me thinking about the game when I'm not playing it. But like, it takes me a full day of thinking about playing the game to make me either be like, I don't have it in me, or like I'll get back to it tomorrow. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, I was supposed to continue streaming Red Dead. I'm not going to tomorrow. And that's not because I'm not liking the game. Here's the reason I'm not going to stream it tomorrow. And I told you guys this today on Discord. I'm actually going to switch to Pokemon tomorrow. It's not a good streaming game. It's way too slow paced, which I don't have a problem with. Don't get me wrong. It's a slow paced game. I don't have a problem with that. But more so than that is people keep continuously telling me that they are skipping my streams because they're afraid of spoilers. Yeah, and this is the first time I've really gotten that in spades. Like, a lot of people are skipping the stream because they don't want to be spoiled. And I'm just saying, like, I guarantee you I'm not as far as you are, because I am the slowest gamer in the world.
Really?
As a streamer, yes, I'm so slow. I'm so slow. Anybody that's playing the game regularly is probably breezing past me because I'm
I
just
would
the
be
slowest.
very curious to see where you are because I think I'm like pretty early on.
Okay, what's your percentage when you save?
I just played like another hour earlier today. I think I'm at like 17 and change.
Okay, I am actually farther than you.
Yeah,
I'm 24.
dude, because like it became a part-time job for me to like fucking look up tip guides and shit to just like wrap my head around playing this game. I'm like, oof, it's a lot of work.
It
to
is
get
a lot
to
of
having
work.
fun, you know.
I just kind of like traveling around. I am doing a lot of story stuff, and that's probably why my percentage is higher than yours. But I do love just wandering around and waiting for crazy shit to happen. I will say it's a bad thing and a good thing that it's so easy for your horse to just face plant and murder you. Like, I swear to God, you could, like, fall into the smallest little ditch. It could be, like, 2 inches deep, and your horse will just, like, throw you across the map, and you'll be dead. I'm just like, what just happened?
There's a lot of endearing qualities about, there's small moments I've had so far, just to give a couple of positive things. It's like, you know, on my own, like there was a train speeding by, and I was like, I need cash, and like I'm just gonna take this opportunity.
You rob the train.
I hop on the train. I'm robbing people. The guards come. I'm blasting them off. I'm robbing this lady, and like I bounce, and then I'm like, that felt awesome. And then there was another moment really early. No spoilers really, but you're in an alley. You're protecting a girl from like an abusive dude, and you come and confront him. And the guy's like, get out of here, man. And he's like, what are you going to do? And then Arthur just kind of draws his gun. And he's like, you want to find out? Like, and it was such a movie moment. I'm like, see, I'm here for this. Like,
it has a lot of organic moments like that, for sure. One that happened for me recently, I felt so bad about it, but not at the same time because I did die in every set. But I went into a town and one of those damn O'Driscoll boys, right, is talking shit. And I just like can't. Whenever an O'Driscoll does that, there's something about it. Like it makes my blood boil. I hate the O'Driscoll so much in that game. It's like the O'Doyles from Billy Madison or whatever it was. So I turn around. I'm like, all right, let's go. So I bring out the fisticuffs and I take him down. And just by like habit, I loot him. But that's the thing is like you can do whatever the hell you want in this world. It's when you loot a body that suddenly everybody gives a shit.
Yeah, they judge you.
They judge me, and suddenly all these people are after me. So then I just suddenly decimate this entire town. I kill like 50 people, innocent people.
You spiral out of control, yeah.
But then it got to a point where it was even worse because I ran out of ammo. So then I'm just knifing everybody. I'm knifing like women and men and everybody. I'm just knifing them in the throat, killing everybody. I do eventually die, so it does reset. But it's a cool moment to just let things spiral out of control and just see what happens sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
I am like wondering how difficult it might be to like kind of just trudge through the story and not fuck around so much with the open world.
Right.
Because I think that is going to be key to my enjoyment of this game.
I don't
know how possible it's going to be, but
I think I'm going to put it off story-wise until next year, when I can kind of breeze through it at a good pace, since I'll be full-time. Maybe it'll be like the first half of my days next year at some point to breeze through the story and get that done. However, the multiplayer I might jump into this year if it is stable. Because that's something people might really appreciate streaming-wise. It's just everybody being together in this world and seeing what shenanigans can happen. You know, that makes sense for Red Dead. Like, we were already talking about how we go off the beaten path, we go off the story mode, and just crazy shit happens. To have everybody doing that together in multiplayer online, that could be pretty interesting. So
yeah, for sure.
I'm willing to jump back into that when it releases, and I think that's this month, actually. The online beta.
I'm not sure what the date is for the online. I haven't paid much attention. You know, I'm not really like outside of Call of Duty. I'm not like really crazy online guy. But I thought about a similar thing because I have so many games to play right now. I'm like, maybe I just come back to this and like when I can maybe get like wrap my head around it a little better. But I don't think I'll have the patience to relearn what I've already learned. So I'm just like trying to tackle it when I'm in the mood for it now and just hope like I start like sprinting rather than crawling after a while. But
yeah, I'm with you.
I'll tell you what, man, that opening cinematic should have been like brought to you by the people who made chores and homework.
I thought you were gonna say like Lord of the Rings.
It's like it is like a it's like
it would have been fine. I think what really makes it like a sludge is you're sludging literally through the snow. And it's like the slowest animation. Like you walk at a snail's pace during that chapter.
That intro is what, after hearing everyone's like previews and like early impressions and stuff, them talking about this intro is what really turned me off to starting it. And then I started it and I'm like, oh, but like I am really kind of enjoying like the pace of this opening, and I was like really immersed. And then it wasn't until after I got through all that slow stuff that I'm like what the fuck is happening? What does any of this do? How do I do
then it just
anything?
throws it all at you. Yeah.
I just figured out now how to actually like upgrade my camp with all the things I've been like dumping into it.
Okay. Yeah, to go to the book and start looking through that.
It was the first time ever in 15 hours the game was like, hey, maybe check out the ledger.
Right.
Like, awesome.
I actually did check it out myself, but that's funny because I didn't ever get any notification saying, hey, you've got this thing where you can upgrade your camp and look at a ledger and all this. You know, I just happened upon it. So
it's crazy, dude.
I think that's what they wanted. I think they want you to happen upon these things, and then if it takes long
that
enough
is what they want.
that you're 20 hours in, it's like, okay, I'll tell you.
Yes.
Here, go here, do this thing.
I understand who this game is after.
Yeah.
I just don't think I am that person, and that's fine. But there's enough about it that I like that makes me want to see it through. But I'm like, not like, you know, I'm definitely not like I'm 100% going to beat this. I'm trying, but there's a chance I might fall off.
I'm with you there, man. And you know, I've said it many times, especially back when you were on the show, Red Dead Redemption 1, probably top 3 games of the generation in the PS3 360 generation. That was an amazing game for me. So yeah, for me to say, wow, I might not finish this. I think I will next year, but yeah, it's a surprise. I think it has to do with the streaming too. That does make it more difficult to play some of these games. If it's just not working, sometimes you have to cut your losses and
for sure.
and quit. Well, unfortunately, I don't like that sometimes.
And there's so much else to play and so much else coming that I'm like, how long can I really be like dicking around with this and not getting any traction? You know?
I'm with you. Well, I hope you feel better that we're of the same mind on a lot of this.
I feel much better.
Good.
In fact,
I'm glad.
yes.
I'm glad. So I'm actually getting a little worried about Mike.
Yeah,
he hasn't texted me
or anything.
He hasn't texted me or anything. No. Let me
Not great.
Let me reach out to him.
Not great.
Yeah, hope everything's all right. Okay, thank you, Boba Chat, for the host. I got a few things I want to talk about real quick before we head into the official non-gaming portion of the show. Boba Chat with the host, guys. I am now a part of a new team. Of course, we still have the Level Up Network stream team, but I have joined another team in addition to that, and they are called The Stew, headed up by Boba Chat, and I'm really, really proud to be a part of this team. It's a nice, tight team that they're forming over there. We had a meeting this past week. We talked about our goals for the future, and we're all going to work together to make these things happen. I'm so happy to be a part of the fam, as they call it over there at The Stew. So anybody that ever wants to see little shout-outs for The Stew, just type in ! The Stew in the chat. There's the link for them. You know, go to their team, follow some of the members on there, at least check them out. You all know Bobo Chat. We've had him on the show. Such a great guy, but he associates himself with great people. And that's why I'm really, really happy to be a part of this team. So everybody please check that out. Another thing I need to shout out, you might be noticing a few people have this sort of gem symbol next to their name. One man in particular being Hitman RX. There's a new feature on Twitch called VIP. And we only have 5 of them right now. But what's cool about it is as you hit milestones, you get more VIP badges that you can give away. And we can give them to anybody we want for whatever reason we want. And right now, we gave one to Hitman RX because he is Santa. He is our top sub gifter. He's at 220-something sub gifts. So he's gone above and beyond. He deserves a VIP badge. Another person that deserves a VIP badge, they call me Denny. Been a part of this community for just several months now, but in those months he's now a sub. He is a tier 3 patron, producer of the show, $25 a month, and he is already committed to helping me out with video editing for next year, which is just so kind of him. Holy shit, did I get a respawn? Hopefully. Oh, dude, you're not gonna guess. Never mind. He said, dude, I'm sorry, we passed out.
He fell asleep?
He fell asleep.
Oh my god, and here we are worrying about him.
Yeah.
This guy.
Oh my. All right. So that's the second VIP. They call me Denny. And then the third VIP I gave to Baz023S. And the reason for that is he is the only person in our entire community that is a tier 3 sub and a tier 3 patron. He's doing $25 on Twitch and $25 on Patreon. That's
Nice.
unbelievable. And he's been doing this for a long ass time. So Baz deserves that VIP status. We're going to hold on to a few of them. I don't want to start giving out the rest of them just yet because I'm not sure what we want to do with them necessarily. There might be instances where we want to do like VIP for a day. Here you go. You were really cool today. You brought in good conversation, or you did this or did that. Here's VIP for the day. So we're going to hold on to these last two. And I'm not sure what we're going to do with them yet. And then hopefully once we obtain more as we hit these milestones, then we can start giving them out more frequently. But congratulations to the 3 VIP members right now. Baz023S, They Call Me Denny, and HempManRX. We got 43 people in the room. Thank you so much for joining me and Dean tonight, everybody. Mike might be joining. I'm not so sure. Yeah, he's getting his shit on. He's gonna come.
Cool. He's coming in person?
I think he's coming in person, yes.
Wow.
But that'll take him like 30 minutes. So
Yeah.
so we're going to unfortunately have to go through the Stan Lee portion without him.
Well, now I'm really glad I accepted this invitation.
Yeah, this would have been a mess. Yeah, it would have been a real mess tonight. Hold on one sec.
Sure.
I'll just say D and I have it covered for now.
Did Mike know I was going to be here?
Yes, Mike knew. Yeah, Mike knew
Okay,
you were
cool.
coming tonight. Of course, his whole thing was, don't tell anybody. Let's keep it secret. Let's give it a surprise.
Dude, what is the why? Why?
He just likes to surprise people with your appearances, Dean.
I'm
Thinks
like
it's-
not like
You're a special boy.
like Jim Carrey. I'm just like a dude.
I'm just a dude playing a dude standing in front of another dude. All right. That's not the line. I don't know what the line is. I messed it up. It's
pretty
from
close.
Tropic Thunder, though.
Pretty close.
I'm just a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
That's it.
I think that's what it is. All right.
Yeah. You know
Anyway, to anybody joining us tonight, I hope you're enjoying the stream. I'm Andrew. We got Dean here as a special guest tonight. And if you're enjoying the stream, hit that heart button here at twitch.tv/levelupshow. Turn on notifications. Make sure you get those alerts whenever we go live. And of course, the prize wheel is active. Anything worth $5 more will get you a spin of the prize wheel. That means subbing, resubbing, pledging on Patreon, sharing, tipping, hosting for 10 viewers or more. And of course, what we really love, those Twitch Prime subs and those sub gifts. Santa, of course, being HempManRX, our new VIP member. All right, we are going to move on to the official non-gaming portion of the show. It's called The Level Up Show Has No Game. 3 non-gaming topics at 2 minutes each. Are we ready?
Born ready.
There it is, every time. All right, first up, this is a very Disney-focused one I noticed this week. First up, let's talk about The Mandalorian. This is the Star Wars series that is going to be a part of Disney Plus. Did you see that, Dean, that they actually named it finally?
Yeah, I'm really getting pretty excited about this service.
Me too. So the titular character of the Mandalorian has been casted as Pedro Pascal. You guys might know him as the Red Viper from Game of Thrones. This is his iconic sequence on screen right here where he faced off against the mountain. I won't spoil it. It's a great scene.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, man, they're nailing it with a lot of these announcements they're making because I'm getting hyped for Disney Plus. I'm getting hyped for the series they're announcing, and I think I have to subscribe to this thing.
Yeah, 100%. You have to.
There's so many things. We've got a Loki series. We've got a Bucky and Falcon series. We got a Scarlet Witch series. We got the Mandalorian. What else are we going to get on this freaking thing?
I was already in with Marvel stuff, and then I totally forgot that Star Wars was owned by Disney for like a minute, and then they announced all this, and I'm like, oh my god, oh yeah. So like, I'm super down, dude. And this casting like drove my high levels for this from like 20% to like 85.
He's awesome. He is really awesome. He's also great. I think it's in Narcos. He's great in that. And this role in particular, I wonder like how reminiscent he might be of the cockiness that the Viper shows in Game of Thrones. Like I just feel like he's probably gonna be cocky, right? He's gotta be cocky.
I feel like he has to be. Yeah,
he's a Mandalorian. He's gotta be cocky. This takes place actually before episodes 6 and 7, which is a little bit of a surprise because I thought Rick was talking about this too. I thought the Mandalorians were like this dead race, if you want to call them that, this dead group of people. But maybe he's the last remaining member of the Mandalorians. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
you know, like Rick was predicting if like it was going to end with Boba Fett killing him and taking his outfit, and then I was like, no, that's actually not even possible. Boba Fett's already dead in this this timeline. So I'm curious what they're going to do with this series, but I'm excited.
I'm curious as well. I've never been of the like Boba Fett's awesome camp. I've always been in more of the camp of like he's irrelevant.
So real quick, we're about to move on to the next topic, but what do you think is going to be priced Disney Plus per month?
I think we're going to see it around $10 to $12.
I'm with you. I think I would say as high as 15 even potentially. But yes, I'm in the
that.
same range as you. All right, moving on from that. Travis Knight is in talks to direct the Guardians Volume 3, Guardians of the Galaxy, of course, since James Gunn is no longer attached to the project. If you guys don't know who Travis Knight is, I've got one of his movies up on screen right now. He directed Kubo and The Two Strings. Have you seen that, Dean?
I have not, but it's been on my list for a long time.
It should be on your list because it's a freaking cool ass movie.
That's what I hear.
Really
man.
cool movie. The other one that hasn't released yet that he is directing is Bumblebee, and I have to say, even Bumblebee
looks
kind of cool.
Yes.
So I'm down with this. I like this guy.
Bumblebee. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I never thought that would happen because I honestly, God, I hate the Transformers series.
Me too.
Even the first one, I think, is okay at best. It's like
Agreed.
a guilty pleasure, maybe. The other ones just go to trash really quickly. So yeah, I'm
wow.
So I'm not at all attached to that.
Yeah.
But I think Bumblebee looks pretty cool. What do you think? Guardians, where is it going to go? Do you think we're going to see like a huge delay where we're not going to get a Guardians film for a long time? Like when is this going to fall into the MCU for you?
I don't think it's going to be delayed too much further than where Disney was originally, or where Marvel and Disney were originally thinking of putting it, because if there's one thing I have learned about Disney's marketing machine is like they really don't slow for anyone or anything.
Right.
You know, I don't think they really mind delaying it too much since it's Guardians. It's kind of more of like an ancillary series and that like takes place off to the side for the most part before Infinity War, where everything merged.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I don't think the Guardians are going to be as big of a part as Avengers 4 until maybe like I think Gamora, no spoilers, will be like maybe a significant part, but I don't think the Guardians will be as big of a role.
Right.
In which case, they're kind of free to put it wherever, but I think we'll get it pretty quick still.
I hope so. I do. I actually like. Let me ask you: do you like the second one or the first one more, real quick?
I go back and forth about this all the time, but I think I prefer the first one.
Okay, I like the second one more for some reason.
By a small margin, though. You know,
for me, it's actually a considerable margin. I think I just got too hyped up on that first one. I didn't see it in theaters. I eventually got around to it on Blu-ray, and it just people spoke so highly of it, especially Mike. He just worshipped it. So when I saw it, I was like, really? I don't know, man. I don't think it was that good.
There are things I like more about the second one. I like the story better in the first one about all the misfits coming together to become a family.
Yeah.
But I think the character development in the second movie is way better.
Right. Okay. And lastly, we're a little behind on this one, but Pirates of the Caribbean is being rebooted, and it's not going to have Johnny Depp and Jack Sparrow anymore. They're moving on from that, and they're going to be pulling from the ride once again, taking a certain female pirate that is a part of the ride and has always been a part of the ride named Red. So I think that's cool. I'm happy that they're moving away from Johnny Depp. I mean, that was just so long in the tooth at this point. Like, it's time to move on, man. Especially considering he's kind of a trash person, as it seems. So
was whatever? I was just talking about this today because I saw a Fantastic Beasts. Was any of that proven? Like,
like the domestic abuse stuff and whatnot?
Any kind of like conviction?
It's not even just the domestic abuse like allegations. There's other parts of that wouldn't even be considered domestic abuse. That just makes me feel like he is a kind of a nasty person.
Really?
In general, I don't know. It's all hearsay. It is like him versus her kind of stuff. So it's hard to say for sure.
I don't know much about
innocent
it,
until proven guilty, of course. But yeah, either way, it's still there. You know, it's hard to disconnect from it. And I do wonder if that had any part in them deciding, let's move on to a completely different pirate and let's go with a female pirate.
I think certainly the previous story with Guardians should show us that like Disney's definitely not fucking around by having their image tainted, you know?
Right. Yeah, without a doubt. I haven't seen any of the Pirates movies though since the third one, at World's End.
Every single one, Andrew. I've seen them all.
And would you say that they've dipped in quality recently?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're asking me, the first Pirates is the only great Pirates movie.
I agree.
But I like Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow. Not that I'm saying I want more. I would rather them just stop making these movies altogether now
Yeah.
and just go do other stuff. But we'll see what happens, I guess, with this.
Yeah, for sure. And that is the Level Up Show. Has no game. Thank you, guys. We don't have any wheel spins as of yet, but of course, guys, anything worth $5 more will get you a spin, and you'll go into the next wheel spin queue. We are going to move on to our community-focused segment of the show, and since Dean is here, and he is somewhat an originator of this segment, I'm going to let him take the reins, as he does when he's a special guest on this show. Go ahead, Dean.
All right. As you may or may not know, the community question of the week is when we ask you guys a question every week. You answer it. We picked our favorite responses, and then we award you points still, right?
We do. So here's the way it works now, Dean. We pick one response from each team. Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, such. So there's only 4 responses a week. And we've been keeping track of, and I'm going to put this on the upper right-hand corner right now, we keep track of the points. So right now we've got Gryffindor in the lead with 98 points. It's 0 to 10 as far as the rating goes, 0 to 10. And Gryffindor in the lead with 98. Behind that, you got Slytherin with 92. You've got Hufflepuff with 88, and you got Ravenclaw at the bottom with 82. But here's the thing. This is the first week where I wasn't able to get all teams to respond. Hufflepuff was a no-show this week. So Hufflepuff
dropping the ball.
Oh my, Hufflepuff, you might be lowering down into last place this week, unfortunately. Well, we'll see. We have to see what Ravenclaw gets with their score. But what is the question this week?
Hufflepuff dropping
classic,
the ball there.
classic. Yes, of course.
So wait, how are we supposed to choose this? Because I'm Gryffindor, and now I'm in somewhat of a compromised.
I'm gonna let you rate your own response.
No,
Dean.
I feel like you should have to choose the winner, right?
Since you are the originator, I will let you decide if you want to rate yourself or if you want me to take that response.
Oh my gosh! All right, well, let's see what happens. Let's get to the end here. So the question this week, of course, honoring the great Stan Lee. Stan Lee has left this world, but his legacy will live on forever. Of all the characters he's created, co-created, and all of the influences he's made in pop culture, what has impacted you the most from his impressive body of work?
Oh my.
I'm happy to be able to read my own answer. This actually worked out kind of.
This is
nicely.
pretty cool, yeah.
So I answered first for Gryffindor, and I said, as you may have guessed, Spider-Man. And I really tried to write this without any I tried to be as honest as I possibly could, and really thought about why I've been so attached to Marvel and Stan Lee and Spider-Man for all these years, and this is really 100% true. So I said Spider-Man because growing up as a young boy who didn't like sports and was more on the sensitive side, I also grew up in a house predominantly full of women besides my dad. So I was kind of alone most of the time, playing by myself. My sisters were always doing stuff together, and I was usually alone. And I was more on the sensitive side. So Stan, by way of Spider-Man, taught me over time that being different did not mean being the lesser. It meant you were special. Together, they taught me that we are all people going through similar problems, and in that way, we're all connected. Spider-Man helped me to feel less alone, like I had more of a place in this world at a crucial, informative time in my life to receive that message. He also taught me that though a solution may be more convenient or beneficial to myself, it's more important to do the right thing, a message I think the world today could learn a lot from. I still ask myself to this day, honest to God, what would Peter do in a difficult situation? And I hope I carry that with me forever. I'll forever be grateful to Stan for the massive impact he had on my life, and I hope he gets some well-deserved rest in peace. Excelsior. Stan the man. Love you.
Okay, so that was a great response, man. This is a wonderful response.
Thank you.
What do you want me to grade you here?
Sure. Yeah. I don't want to grade myself.
This is... I mean, this is tough. This is really tough because...
To be honest, dude.
Well, for one, I don't know how I even rate anybody, not a 10 this week, because, we're all, responding to the death of Stan Lee and talking about how it's impacted us and our emotions towards that. So it's why should I say, no, your emotions are shitty. You don't deserve as many points as this other person.
I wouldn't think your score is reflecting of how this people are feeling.
Yeah.
I would take it more as how they said, how they explained their feelings.
That I think you nailed, honestly. First off, let me say no grammatical errors. Wonderful, Dean.
Congratulations.
You very much. No grammatical errors. So that's automatically no negative points taken away. I think you explained well, and we've heard this story before. You've talked about this on the show, but still, in a concise manner, you were able to explain like how growing up as the kid that you were, Stanley especially, and his characters were able to impact you. And I think this is a story that many people will say. In all honesty, you're not the only person like this. A lot of people connect with Spider-Man for that exact same reason that you did. But that is why he is and has for a long time been one of, if not the most popular Marvel character. It's because he is so he's so relatable, I guess is the word, right?
He is the true everyman of the Marvel Universe. They have the incarnation when he's a kid, a teenager, a grown man, and no matter what, he's always a human, like first and foremost. He's always got that stuff happening in the background, and he always has to deal with it. And most recently, the game did like such a great job of conveying how like no matter what, dude, like you're gonna have to deal with like certain problems.
Yeah, yeah, man. I think knowing, especially, there's a little bit of bias here, but knowing how important Spider-Man is to you, knowing how important Stan Lee is to you, like I am able to feel the words here because I know you and I know your feelings on this. So it's hard for me to detach from that, and that's why I got to give you a 10, man. I'm sorry, guys.
Thanks,
I got to give Gryffindor 10 points. Plus 10 to Gryffindor.
Beautiful.
Way to go, Gryffindor. Did I type that?
I expect to hear stories similar to this, and I hope to, because you see that recent trailer before Bohemian Rhapsody came out where like Freddie Mercury is like, the outcasts, the freaks in the back of the room, like we belong to them. And I think that is very much what not just Stan Lee, but like Marvel Comics, like that's them. Like we're that crowd, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is all for the people who like don't really know where they belong. This helped us and still helps us like find our spot, our little carve out in this crazy ass world. So moving on. All poo snacks.
All poo snacks.
Ravenclaw said, in my usual fashion, I'll skirt the lines of directly answering the question. In lieu of my own brand of answer, Stan Lee is my favorite character created by Stan Lee. This is a really smart answer, actually. When people say that somebody is a living legend, it is usually an over-exaggeration to mean someone is an exceptional person within their field. Stan Lee created a universe. He created people and places that are so believable, have written their own stories with his creations as the inspiration. Legends are almost exactly that, stories that are created around the stories others have told. Stan Lee chose to pursue a vocation which at the time was considered lowly or embarrassing because it was what he loved to do. Over time, Lee grew to become a figurehead of comics and superheroes. He has been doing cameos in Marvel movies for 30 years. Every time you saw Stan Lee, you sort of knew everything would be okay, no matter what supervillain was attacking. He was like the guardian angel of his own movie, giving you that knowing smile and friendly wink to let you know everything would turn out okay. Throughout the years, Stan Lee's distinctive face became its own brand, its own persona, if you will. He became the face of good and heroic. He was known for being kind and inspiring and generally wonderful. Marvel became synonymous with his face and vice versa. Grandfather Comics, a name by which he was never known, but I've just made up, was a worldwide treasure who enthralled and captivated billions. His rest, while well-earned throughout a lifetime, incredible work will be mourned the world over. Good answer.
So this is a really cool answer because he's right. Stan Lee is a creation of his own. His name
100%.
is not Stan Lee. It's Stan Lee. Oof, I'm trying to remember his actual true last name.
His full name?
Yeah. Do you remember?
Stanley Lieber?
Yes, I think you might be right. It's something like that. Yeah, so it's cool that we're going to talk about this later, but like Stan Lee was his pseudonym that he created when he was working at, I think, Timely Comics at the very beginning, which we'll get to. But it's kind of like a really smart answer in that way, where Stan Lee is my favorite creation of Stan Lee, because he is this beacon of hope, like or it was and still is a beacon of hope within the world. And I love this answer for that reason. I will not grade this one though. Like I'm actually going to let you grade this one. Personally, I'll just say I would give this a 10 as well. I think this is a wonderful answer. I think he touches on what makes Stan Lee so special. So
yeah, I would give it a 10 as well. Yeah, I really liked it.
I'm really just kind of feeling everybody like 10s everywhere, and that way Hufflepuff really suffers this week. because they deserve to suffer.
Except Bill Maher, he gets his fucking 0.
Oh man, we'll talk about that maybe. I don't know if I want to put any damper on the
I'm not
discussion.
going to even waste my breath, dude, because that's all that guy wants. So he can just scream into the silence.
Way to go, Ravenclaw! Plus 10 points to you.
Beautiful. Jersey Tom for Slytherin says, having grown up in the 90s, probably the most influential characters Stanley created for me were the X-Men. The X-Men, a super fucking important faction of heroes for that.
It's a good representation of the impact that Stan Lee wanted to make on the world. And I think Jersey Tom does get into that here.
Dude, Stanley, I can't wait to just dive into Stanley. It's the best. He's the best. Leading up to the old Fox Kids cartoons. At a time when I was more of a DC fan, I was still very much intrigued by the X-Men and their struggle while existing in a society that hated them for no reason other than something they had no control over, being born mutants. The obvious parallels to marginalized groups wasn't lost on me at a young age, and it helped shape my respect for people, of all people, who are different. Even Magneto, a Holocaust survivor who was the villain, quote unquote, of the show, had what I thought was a strong motivation despite his methods being less than ideal. It helped instill the idea in me that hate begets hate, and in order to stop it, we need to break the cycle. The show helped introduce me to some of the greatest storylines in comics, as well as a whole host of characters Stan and others had created, as well as his core themes of acceptance and tolerance of others despite our differences. Good answer, Jersey Tom.
Another great answer. Yeah, you guys really came in. The people that did come in with answers this week, wonderful answers that really, I think, do touch on what made Stan Lee so impressive an individual, but especially impactful individual on not just pop culture, like the entire world, man. I would argue that the only person above Stan Lee as far as pop culture resonance and impact on the world is, can you take a guess, Dean?
Michael Jackson?
Walt Disney.
Yeah. He's a very Walt Disney-esque.
I think that's the only person I would say is probably above Stan Lee as far as lasting impact on the world and on pop culture.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Stan Lee, I think, is second to that. I can't think of anybody else that would really be second to Walt Disney other than Stan Lee.
That's why it's so baffling why anyone would question, like it would be weird to hear like somebody thinking it's weird that everyone was like mourning Walt Disney or something. You know what I mean? Like, like what do you not understand?
Right.
You know?
It's not hard. It's not hard to understand.
It's not hard to understand. Like
anybody that goes the route of saying this shit is for children or kids, I'm just gonna immediately shut you out and pretend that you don't exist because your words mean nothing. Yeah,
I would agree with you.
Like, come on.
This is baffling that is such an old ass mindset that you prove why you like your form of evolution of our race needs to just be like done with. You don't get it. You're not growing. You're frozen.
You're an old man yelling at cloud is what you are.
100%.
That's all you are.
Quick Cliff's notes about the X-Men and the comment on Magneto being quote unquote villain. What is so cool about the X-Men is that I'm sure a lot of you know, but some people may not, that Charles Xavier and Magneto, otherwise known as Eric Lenscher, were meant to be parallels between Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, two men who wanted the same end goal but went about it in very.
Never knew that, but that is very interesting and makes a lot of sense. That is really cool.
Yeah,
I was like, that's the thing about comics. When you dive into them, they are a parallel on the real world. They are touching on what we face in our everyday lives in a fantastical way.
I mean, Black
that's what's
Panther.
About them.
Stan Lee came out with his big dick hanging on the desk during the civil rights movement and said, "I'm gonna make a black superhero. Fuck you all." And he did it.
And I'm gonna name him Black Panther.
Yes.
At that time, especially. You know, like to name him Black Panther. I'm sure that riled some people up, man.
Yeah, dude, it's the best.
It is good.
He did a lot of like crazy shit. I mean, there's a lot of stuff like that came from that era, specifically Captain America. Like that came from exactly when you think it came from, the World War II era where Nazis were trying to take over. Like this shit is part of history. It's super crazy.
So Dean, what's it get? Jersey Tom for
10,
Slytherin.
brother.
10 points to Slytherin. Everybody gets 10 this week. You get a 10. You get a 10. Hufflepuff, you get 0.
Way to go.
0, Hufflepuff.
You probably would have got a 10 just for answering, but you sucked.
This is one of those weeks we were giving out the 10s, man. It's a week we're celebrating somebody. It's 10s everywhere. But Hufflepuff decided not to answer. And now they are in last place. Derek, all Poo Snacks, and everybody in Ravenclaw has made it out of the basement. Congratulations, guys. You are no longer in last place. You are now in 3rd place. Guys, join us on Discord at discord.gg/the Level Up Network. Of course, there is the hashtag Question of the Week channel. We will put another question on there this week, and you'll have the opportunity to answer. Don't mess it up, guys. Get your points for your house. If you are somebody that's never responded before, we will put you into a house. We will have the sharding hat ceremony, and we'll get you in there. So definitely respond there. Become a part of our Discord community. We love when you guys do that, because even when the show is not live, we want you guys together celebrating the community. Not us, celebrating the community. You guys are the best. All right. We are going to go to a quick commercial break, and during that commercial break, we're going to bring Mike in. We're going to get Mike on the show. He's going to join us through Discord, he said, tonight. He wouldn't get here until 11:30, he said, if he tried to drive here. So we'll get him in for the official discussion on Stan Lee and celebrating his life. But right now, let's go to commercial break. Hold on tight. Diclonius Games. We'll be back in approximately... let's go with 90 seconds so I can get this set up. Welcome back, Level Uppers, to the Level Up Show, episode 241. We got both guests now on the show. We got the Beast from the East, D. Marchese, special guest this evening. And from afar, we got Classy Douchebag joining us now. Hey, Mike.
Hey.
How was your little nap?
It was, I guess, necessary, apparently.
Like, were you exhausted, or did it just, like, happen?
I mean, I guess a little bit of both. I didn't think I was that tired. Like, I was tired. We were at a christening. It wasn't anything big, but, like,
yeah.
I got put to sleep very quickly with all the other stuff going on. And, like, I don't know. So I guess when we came home, I was just really comfortable, and I out.
You son of a bitch. All right, well, at least we got you here for an important part of the show. Our topic of the week, if you want to call it that. We're going to talk about Stan the Man, Stan Lee. We got to hear your feelings, the viewers, during Community Question of the Week. But now it's time for us to talk about how Stan Lee has impacted us in our lives. First, I want to talk a little bit about the history, of course, for Stan Lee. I was doing some Wikipedia research. I just wanted to learn a little bit more about him, and it's just got a really cool history. I mean, this guy came from pretty much nothing. The jobs that he worked were, just meaningless, like, jobs. Even when he was working at Timely Comics, he was a nobody there. They just took advantage of him, and then eventually he had the opportunity, I believe it was Captain America, right, actually, with Timely Comics, that he got to use his pseudonym Stan Lee for, and then eventually when he left and he went to what was at that time not called Marvel Comics, it had 2 or 3 other names before it became Marvel Comics. He quickly, at like 28 years old, became like editor in chief or something along those lines. He quickly climbed the ranks and showed what he was all about. But it's funny, like, for him, comics was something he never wanted to do. He wanted to write the great American novel. That was his big thing, and he actually, as some people today still do, and they shouldn't, he looked down upon comics as something lesser. And he was like, no, I'm just in this for the long run, because I want to eventually make the great American novel. And then, of course, I think he did come to his senses and realize that comics were his true calling, and something where he could make such a great impact on the world.
There's a great, I wish I would have sent it to you. There's a great video clip of him talking about this, where he says, like, pretty much that early sentiment there of, like, I thought I was embarrassed of what I did. I didn't really want to share it with people. And people saw me and, like, saw me working. I didn't want to be, known for this. And then I realized one day that entertaining is one of the best things you can do. And, like, bringing joy to people and letting them get out of their everyday, like, lives is, like, something that I'm so proud to, like, be a part of or something. It's a great clip. Look it up if you can, because not you, I mean, like, everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
It's awesome.
Because he, in all of his interviews and in all of his little podcast things that he's done, he's so great with anything speaking wise. And even when he's in these cameos that we see on screen, every time he shows up, it's entertaining. There's something about him. It's something that he exudes. It's just like it's a really happy quality, and that's what I think is really going to be missed about him, and something when I think about Infinity War Part 2 or whatever it's going to be called, and
It's gonna be tough,
I assume that he's already done his cameo role in that, but that's going to be the last one, and anytime after that, he's going to be so missed. It's going to be like something's missing.
I think he's also recorded his one for Spider-Man Far From Home. I think that is the last one.
Cool, very cool. You know, I don't want to like focus on that because I feel like, oh, I'm gonna miss him as a cameo. It's like, come on, like, you know.
Well, think about it. I mean, that's where we get to see him really anymore.
Right.
Especially as he got older. Like that was a moment that the whole audience, when you go to a Marvel movie opening night, sure as you are sitting there, everyone pops for that cameo at that moment. Everyone in the theater on opening night pops for that. And it's great because everybody just loves him.
Mike, so Dean got to read off his actual response during Question of the Week about the impact of Stan Lee on his life. So I feel like now should be your opportunity to talk a little bit about what you think has impacted you the most from either Stan Lee himself as a person or the works of Stan Lee, things that he's created and co-created.
You know, I want to do him the respect of not even pretending that I was a huge fan of his. You know, ever. I don't want to act like, you know, he had this huge, profound impact on my life. I loved everything that he created. I loved the excitement that he brought to everybody. You know, I had the opportunity to meet him a couple of times, you know, going to Comic Cons and everything like that. And I couldn't justify the money. And it's one of those things where I look back on it now, I'm like, do I regret it? I'm like, no, because while he was a great, you know, he was monumental in creating so many things that I, you know, love and cherish today. You know, it was more so, you know, it wasn't even something that I latched onto as much as someone like Dean or seemingly Apu Snacks or even Jersey Tom did. In those ways, I do love the joy that he brought to everybody. You know, but more so, you know, the works that he made. And seeing him in the cameos are really what impacted me more than anything else. And even then, you know, I loved X-Men, you know, and I loved, you know, Spider-Man and, you know, all these other heroes and, you know, things, but not into the extent that I'd ever, you know, had on Dean and Rick and people in those ways. So
that's understandable.
Yeah. Sure. But like, honestly, like, I think that the world would have been a much darker, and less enjoyable place had it not been for someone like him. Because realistically, I don't think that anybody that ever, you know, kind of say Stan Lee never existed, I don't think there would ever been someone that filled his shoes in the way, you know, that he made himself. He was absolutely irreplaceable in so many aspects. And he, you know, he lived a long and very entertaining life, you know, and you know, he brought that entertainment to us, and you know, that's something I think more than anything else is what he'll be remembered for and what he should be remembered for.
All in all, I mean, he had a good life, right? Like that's what you got to think is he had it. There's certain things that I'm sure those last couple of years, his relationship with Jack Kirby, you know, things like that. Unfortunately, you know, you could focus on those as dampers. But yeah, I mean, look at what he's leaving behind, and look at the happiness that he seemed to have himself and exude upon the world. He lived a long, great life. His wife was with him so many of those years. Up until last year, his wife was with him, which is not something a lot of people can say. You know, it's really a beautiful life that he led. I forgot to give a shout out real quick before I forget. Soma Geek, if you're still in the room, I apologize. I missed your Prime sub. Thank you so much for the Prime sub and choosing us for that. It means a lot when you guys do that. As for me, it might be surprising, but I would say the character of his that has impacted me the most is actually Iron Man.
Nice.
And the reason for that, the reason I say it might be surprising, is because people didn't really attach to Iron Man as much until his movie came out. He was kind of this, a little bit of a lesser character within the Marvel universe, but he was always the one that I was pushed towards the most because of my dad. My dad is obsessed with Iron Man and always has been from as far as I can remember. He has some really classic comics.
That's awesome.
For Iron Man, like things that might be actually worth something today if we were actually look at it, because he's kept them in very good condition, and he's got some early comics for Iron Man. You know, the animated series for Iron Man. Do you guys remember the animated series for Iron Man?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I have them on DVD.
Yep, that and just the comics in general. And my dad would bring me around to conventions, and we would always go to TemD near here. You guys know TemD?
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's TemD anymore.
They're not babysitters.
Yes, they're the
only
worst.
Ones like around anymore.
I thought they closed down. They didn't.
They may have now, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're gone now.
I think they are gone. But yeah, so I've got very fond memories of the characters that he's introduced, largely because of my dad. And my dad's always been a really big comic book fan. Another one, I very much so, Spider-Man, X-Men. But the reason for those especially is actually because of the animated series. I read comics and I enjoyed comics, but I was never like really ingrained into them. And I knew Stan Lee. I definitely knew Stan Lee because of my dad. But I was never like really into reading comics. It was the animated series that I really was attached to, X-Men and Spider-Man and Iron Man specifically, when I was really young. I love those so much. And those like, that's nostalgia fuel for me whenever I see that stuff. So go ahead, Mike.
I saw the clip of him, and I think the most memorable thing is I'm always going to be able to hear him yell, "Here's chastity!"
Yeah,
from when he's in Deadpool.
Well, since we're on that, we got him up on screen, all of his cameos, at least up until I think Homecoming is the last one on screen here. Do you guys have a favorite cameo from Stan Lee?
I have a few that I always have loved. I think it was Guitar Freak who mentioned in the chat earlier. The one from Amazing Spider-Man 2, where he's in the middle of the library, the fight.
That's
scene.
the first one.
That's the first one.
And I was going to say that as well. That's my favorite, probably.
Yes, Amazing Spider-Man 1. You're right.
That's my second favorite.
I love that cameo.
Yeah, that's the most like. He's at the forefront of that scene, unlike a lot of the ones, and that there's action going on around him is also really cool about that one.
I also really love the one, and it's often forgotten, where he is kind of playing like a drunken truck driver in Thor 1, trying to pull the hammer out of the crate.
Yeah, did it work?
I love that one.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
That's a good one. I think my favorite one, my second favorite is the library. My first favorite is actually, I think, Amazing Spider-Man, or no, just Spider-Man 2. And I think it's the second one. But he pulls the little girl out of the way of the falling brick from the building that's getting.
I think that's the first one. The second one is where he pulls a woman out of the way.
Yes.
In both Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2, he pulls somebody out of the way. And what's kind of cool about it is in the third Spider-Man, he talks to Peter about how, I think something about how like a small person
really can make a difference.
Yeah, one person really can make a difference. And you think, oh, he's probably talking about Spider-Man, but he actually might just be talking about himself there, because he saved two people himself.
I think what I love about that, though, is that for the first time out of any of them, that's actually where you see him be the hero. Yeah, you know, it's all the other ones are just cameos and other heroes, you know, things. That in that one, he's technically a hero, and I think that's what's really cool about that one. So that one really
I do really like the Homecoming one too, where he yells down to Spider-Man, calls him a punk.
Yeah, especially because he's like the father of Spider-Man.
Exactly, that's what. You have to know a little history to appreciate that one, but like it's so good.
It is good. That's good. And I have to say, Jose Munster is right. The Spider-Man video game one totally took me by surprise. I had no idea that was coming. I was never expecting it for whatever reason. I should have. I should have expected it. Man. But when I saw it, I was just like a guttural reaction of like, oh my God, that's amazing. Yeah, this is so good. Great. Like that was such a great scene. I love that a lot. Another one is a series of cameos for me. I really like all the Iron Man ones because it feels like it plays off the one before it. Like in the first one, Tony gets him wrong thinking he's Hugh Hefner. In the second one, he gets him wrong thinking he's Larry King. Larry King. Yeah. And then in the third one, it's almost like Stan Lee's coming back at him by calling him Tony Stank.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're gonna get me wrong. I'm gonna call you Tony Stank.
Third one. The Tony Stank is in Civil War.
Oh, that's Civil War. That's true. Then what's the third one?
Yeah, I don't remember what his cameo was in the third one.
Might have to look it up.
He's definitely in there. Yeah.
Yeah, but still, he goes after Tony in that one, like Tony Stank. Yeah. It's almost like he's giving him payback for getting him wrong so many times. Yeah. So I also like those ones as well. We did run out of time on the segment, but my God, it's just the guy's life and legacy is going to live on forever, and that's the beautiful thing about it all. You know, we'll always be talking about Stan Lee. The guy
what do you
behind
think
it
they're
all,
going to do from here on out, though? I'm just curious what you guys both think, and what do you want personally? Like, I've seen, and I'm sure you guys have seen the things, saying, Ryan Reynolds should have Deadpool dress up as Stan Lee, and portray him.
Yeah.
I
think that'd be really funny.
Stuff.
I think that the danger there is disrespecting Stan Lee. I think it's the danger there. Well, first off, I think they need to have an actual tribute video before Infinity War Part 2.
100%.
Like an actual 5-minute tribute video that plays before the movie even starts. Like right before it starts. Everybody should see it. If as long as you were there 5 minutes early, you should see. Actually, no, scratch that. Make that the start of the film so that everybody, even if they show up directly on time for the start of the film, they still see that. Like, everybody should see this. And that's why I don't want it to be afterwards or in the credits or this or that. It needs to be at the front of the film.
agree.
Everybody needs to see it. So I hope they do that, and I hope it just, my cousin said this, and I agree with him entirely. It should just be that video, and then it's just right after that, it should say, before the film starts, it should say, for Stan.
Yeah.
And that's it.
100%.
For Stan. So that's one thing I think they need to respect him and the legacy he's leaving behind. But yeah, as far as the cameos thing goes, I would be okay with them never doing it again or anything about that again. I'm okay with it being something that was only a Stan Lee thing.
I think you'll see them have like employee of the month photo or something, like
I was thinking about
like a Stan Lee
Right.
like lane or something. You know what I mean? I think you'll see stuff like that.
Yeah,
Right,
maybe
I think that's a
picture
better
on
way
the
to go about it.
wall,
I
or
agree with
like
you.
a-
Not like him as in like a video cameo, but hey,
Right.
can you spot Stan Lee in this film? Like, where is
Yeah.
he? You know, his picture is somewhere, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, where's Waldo? Where's Stan? Kind of thing.
Yeah. For
That
sure.
I think that would be a little bit more of a tasteful way of doing it.
And Disney's really good with that with their Pixar stuff too.
Mhm.
Right, of hiding Easter eggs. You know,
Right.
that's what it could be. I'm with you there, Dean. I think that would be a good compromise. For
Do
it
you
all.
think something I've seen a couple people talk about is the game? So there's Spider-Man, the third DLC installment. The second one is probably too soon because that comes out the 20th. That comes out next week. But do you
Right.
think they'll have something for him in that third one that
I
comes
do.
out next month?
I do? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
kinda
Spider-Man
think
is his. I would say his most memorable creation and one that's tied most strongly to him.
Yeah.
Right.
I would say I feel like because he's. And I keep saying he because this is Jack Kirby obviously as well. So many of these characters Jack Kirby co-created with Stan Lee, and that was one of the reasons for their feud for many years. Is that Jack Kirby felt like he didn't get the credit he deserved for the characters he co-created with Stan Lee. So I should say that real quick, that Spider-Man is not just a Stan Lee character, but still he's so much associated with Stan Lee. So I think that they should do something, and I would be kind of surprised if they didn't.
Jack Kirby, never forget, responsible for the webbing underneath the armpits.
Okay, there you go. One thing I heard, and I don't want to
Thanks,
put a
Steve.
downer on this at all, but my cousin was telling me a story about Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby, of course, died many years ago, and Stan Lee went to his funeral and was in line to pay respects. Have you guys heard this story?
No.
No.
Okay, so Stan Lee was in line to pay respects to Jack Kirby. They never had reconciled, but he still was at his funeral. However, Stan Lee saw his wife, Jack Kirby's wife, and couldn't handle it because he felt that Jack Kirby's wife hated him so much. So
Wow.
Stan Lee actually left the line, never paid his respects to Jack Kirby.
Wow.
His wife stayed in line though, and the real downer of the story is Jody went up to Jack Kirby's wife, and his wife said, I wanted to reconcile. Jack Kirby wanted to
Oh, man.
reconcile. That was like, this is something that we wanted to do. So he never got his chance, unfortunately.
That's a shame.
Yeah, really sad. So, unfortunately, that's, like I said, it's probably one of his, I bet that's one of his big regrets if he had one.
It does make me super sad. To counter Mike's earlier point, is like I've never had an opportunity to meet Stan, and I never really thought I would get a chance. But it's sad to know, like it's definite. Like
Right, you have no choice
I'm
now.
never gonna meet him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
for someone who had like such a profound, like I would fundamentally be a different person without his existence.
Yeah.
I'm hesitant to ask this, but I hope it's not too much to ask. Like, did you cry?
No, but I came really close one night. I was sitting in here and I was I think it was the next day. I was kind of shocked. Like again,
Right.
like we all knew he was old. It was kind of like anytime you saw Stanley like trending, you were like, fuck, is this it?
Yeah.
And then like it happened and I was just like, and I just felt somber for the rest of the day, but I didn't cry.
It's gonna hit you though. It's gonna hit
And
you,
that-
especially when you see that
yes,
tribute video.
for sure.
It's gonna hit you. hard.
I feel it in me. It just hasn't.
Yeah. That was
emerged,
kind of
but-
like me, like when we actually hit $10,000, like I didn't
Yeah.
have like any emotional reaction to it. And then my very next game stream, I was getting hit with like a $100 tips. King Kurt especially did two $100 tips that night. Somebody else did a $100 tip. And I just like, I fell apart. I started crying on stream and whatnot. And, like, it didn't hit me until afterwards, because when it first happens,
have a way about them.
You're in shock, kind of.
Exactly.
So yeah.
It was the next. I think it was the next night. I was sitting here. I was playing a game, and like I didn't even realize, but at some point, I put down my controller, and I was just like thinking about like Stan and all the Marvel. And Jen came upstairs finally and walked by. She was like, "What are you doing?" And it was like I was just like thinking about Stan Lee, and it's like it sucks. Like it's so sad. And she was like, "It's sad. You know, you got to process." And like that was it. I was just like very melancholy for a while.
At my work, I will say, you know, most of the men at my work are, you know, middle-aged men, 50, 60, even years old. We do have some 30-somethings in there like me, but the moment, like, it happened, everybody in the office was, like, trying to be the first one to say it almost. Like, Stanley just died, and everybody was talking about it. We were, like, it was a thing. Like, you know, it wasn't just the 30-somethings that were talking about it. We were all talking about it, so.
Dude, I got text messages from aunts that I don't speak to regularly, like my parents' friends who I haven't seen probably since my wedding or talked to, like they understood, like it was like he was something to me, you know.
Yep.
But you know,
there you go.
like we said, the guy lived a hell of a life.
Without a doubt. Excelsior. Stanley, rest in peace.
Excelsior.
Always be remembered. All right, guys. Let's move on with the show. Let's get into the crux of it all. Let's get into the weekly discussion of the week's biggest gaming industry news. It's called The Level Update. First up in the Level Update, let's go through this whole list here, guys. We're going to go through the Game Awards nominees. We're going to say what we think should win and what we think will win for each. All right. So first up, we've got Best Action Game: Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Dead Cells, Destiny 2 Forsaken, Far Cry 5, and Mega Man 11. Dean, what should win?
Well, I didn't play Mega Man, but I heard it's great, and I'm going to play it. But I would have to say Call of Duty Black Ops 4, even though I'm confused about this whole topic.
What do you mean?
Why are any of these under the action game, and then like none of the action games are under the action games banner?
There's action adventure underneath.
There is action adventure as well. So action, I feel, I don't know how do you determine this? I don't know.
No, I don't either.
Let's just go with it. I don't know. Mike, what do you think? Do you agree Black Ops should win?
Oh man, honestly, I'm not sure.
Really?
Yeah, you know what? And here's the thing: it has nothing to do with how much I love it. Personally, I think my favorite is going to be Black Ops 4. Over all these, Dead Cells is great, and
Dead
I'm
Cells
glad
is
it's
great
on this list.
Yeah.
I haven't played it.
I don't want Destiny to win because it's an expansion on a shit game, and I don't think it counts, so it's unfair. Far Cry 5 was pretty decent, but Mega Man 11, I know there's a lot of people that love that game.
But did you play it?
But I didn't play it, so I can't really weigh in on it. But I wouldn't be surprised if that gets a decent amount of votes. But
what are we doing again? We're saying what we want to win and what we think should win.
What will win and what should win. So what should win is what you want to win.
Okay.
And I agree. I think I want Black Ops to win. I think it's really great, and I think it will win myself.
Agreed. Yeah, that's Black Ops is both answers for me.
I think so as well. Best action adventure. Who's that?
Yeah. I'm so glad Fortnite's not in here.
Yeah. Best action adventure game: Assassin's Creed Odyssey, God of War, Marvel's Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption 2, or Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I think God of War. I think God of War should win, and I actually think God of War will win.
I think God of War should win. I think Red Dead 2 will win, and I'm pretty pissed about that.
I actually don't think Red Dead 2 is going to be the winner of this whole thing. I don't think it's going to get Game of the Year. I don't think it's going to be this big thing. I actually don't.
Interesting. I think
you have to remember a lot of this comes down to audience voting. Don't forget that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think it's going to be Red Dead, because there's
more
people because more people played Red Dead, and it's the talk of the town right now versus God of War. I mean,
I agree more people played it, but we were talking about how polarizing Red Dead 2 is.
But they also never played God of War, and they never played Spider-Man. Some of these people, so they won't have any input.
Some of them.
Some of them.
That's the thing that could hurt us all is God of War and Spider-Man being on the same platform and the votes being split between the two of them. I didn't think of that. That could hurt God of War badly.
Realistically, and well, Dean, you didn't weigh in. Sorry, I didn't want to.
Well, what was your answer? What do you think?
I think God of War should win, absolutely. But I think Red Dead will win.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is tough. Now that I know, now that I'm thinking about them being split between Spider-Man and God of War, I think Red Dead might win, but I think God of War definitely should win.
Guys, I don't really know how to sort my feelings out here.
You're going to say, and let me can I guess at yours? I think you're going to say.
I think God of War. I think God of War should win, and I think God of War will win.
Oh
Interesting. Wow. See, here's the thing. I thought you were going to go with Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Over Spider-Man?
No.
No.
I think Assassin's Creed Odyssey should get something because it's had no right being as good as it is.
Right?
That's fucking awesome. Dude.
So glad that you said that too.
But God of War, if we're saying action adventure, what nailed both of those aspects? Like Spider-Man is a great fucking action game, but when I'm thinking of like I'm going on an adventure that has a beginning, a middle, and an end, like God of War is like unequivocally like the one.
Right. Yeah. I love Spider-Man. I haven't played Assassin's Creed. I love Spider-Man. Red Dead 2 is great.
Yeah.
And I haven't played Shadow of the Tomb Raider, but I think that's definitely not getting anything.
I'm surprised Shadow of the Tomb Raider is even on here because that game is also pretty polarizing and it's pretty. From what I understand, the people that like it are just like it's okay. You know, I've never heard anybody rave about it.
So we're mostly focusing on God of War. Let's try and move through these. Best role-playing game: Dragon Quest XI, Monster Hunter World, Ni no Kuni 2, Octopath Traveler, Pillars of Eternity. I think Monster Hunter World will win and should win.
I probably will agree with you there on both.
Yeah.
I haven't even played Monster Hunter World, but I know.
I haven't played one of those games, but I think Monster Hunter World.
I played 1, 2, 3, part of 4. So I would say, I think Dragon Quest XI was really good. Really disappointing numbers for that, by the way, especially for how much I enjoyed it.
Warm Coat said there's a lot more adventure in Red Dead 2. Just saying. I would say quality over quantity.
Warm Coat, where are you seeing that from God of War? Like, I mean, you're right. It is pretty open, but so is Ghost Recon Wildlands, and so is Assassin's Creed Origins.
That's what I'm saying. God of War may be a smaller game, but the quality of the adventure.
I felt like I was on an adventure much more in God of War than in Red Dead. Because God of War, you feel like you're on this Lord of the Rings type journey where you're traveling the world, trying to get to the, spoiler alert, trying to get to the top of the mountain, to the highest point to spread the ashes of your dead wife. Like, it felt like you were on this long journey to find that. It was a total adventure for me, without a doubt. But moving on.
A fucking game, man.
It was, man. It was. Best fighting game. We're probably not going to have much of an opinion on this, but BlazBlue, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Soul Calibur 6, and Street Fighter 5 Arcade. I don't have an opinion.
I honestly think it's going to be between Soul Calibur and Dragon Ball Fighters. I think there's a lot of people that like Street Fighter 5 Arcade. But from what I'm understanding about Soul Calibur, it's the first in a while that's really gotten people excited and happy about the series again, because there was a lot of things they didn't like about or 6 on the because they didn't like about
Answer
5.
the question, bro. What do you think will and what do you think should? Let's go.
Oops, I think
Don't tell what to do.
I'm saying, he said let's go fly through them, and we're
all right. I think Soul Calibur is going to win, and I honestly think it should win. Dragon Ball Fighters is really good though.
Both is yours for Soul Calibur?
I think so.
I think Dragon Ball Fighters should win, and I think Soul Calibur will win.
I'm with Dean on that one. Yeah.
Dragon Ball Fighters is so good.
Just from what I've seen, Dragon Ball Fighters looks really cool. So I would say should win on that, but I don't have a horse in that race for sure.
Right.
Moving on to best family game: Mario Tennis Aces, Nintendo Labo, Overcooked 2, Starlink, Battle for Atlas, or Super Mario Party. I would say Mario Tennis Aces should win, and I think Overcooked 2 will win.
Overcooked 2 is a family destroying game. I'll tell you that. I almost straight up, Greg and I almost.
Yeah, it was Mario Party.
Over
yeah,
it
it's
got
true.
Bad in this house.
I love Mario Tennis. I freaking
Mario
love
Tennis
that
is
game.
Good.
I just love it from nostalgia. No, I'm just talking from nostalgia alone, and I've watched
dude,
it. It looks
though.
so fun.
It is fun when you're playing online and it works, but it doesn't always work all the time, and the story mode sucks. That's the thing, is the game is not just because you want to be good. It's not a good game. That's the only reason why I didn't buy it. I was planning to.
I was playing it too as well because the demo.
Oh,
was
you and I
awesome.
talked about it. You and I had talked about it, and I was playing until the day it released is when they finally let people put their reviews up, and people were like, "It's not that."
Should there be stuff floating in my Rad's Apple Ale?
No.
Okay, I'm
Yes. Why?
Should there be?
No.
There apple chunks in there? What's going on?
Yep, apple chunks.
I'm
that's what they are.
Stop drinking that.
There should not be things floating in that.
Yeah.
It is a sealed bottle.
You know what? I honestly think that because out of what I've played, though, I think Mario Party should win, and I think Overcooked 2 will win.
I agree.
I just didn't put enough time into Overcooked 2 to really make an opinion on it. But Starlink, Battle for Atlas, and Nintendo Labo is really cool, but it's not a family game. It's just a kid game.
I'm gonna go with Overcooked 2 then. Should and win and will, I should say.
I want Mario Party to win, but I think Overcooked 2 will win.
Okay, interesting. And just to clarify, no, it's not backwash. This is something that's been sitting in my fridge for a very long time, but I thought since it was in the fridge, it would still be okay.
A little fermentation there.
Yeah, something happened in there. I don't know what. Best VR AR game: Astro Bot Rescue Mission, Beat Saber, Firewall Zero Hour, Moss, and Tetris Effect. I know you really like Tetris Effect, Dean, but Astrobot VR Rescue Mission, I've heard unbelievable things about.
I've heard great things about it.
Beat Saber as well. Yeah, Beat Saber as well.
Every single one of these things, because Tetris Effect is amazing, as we all know. Moss is really good. Firewall Zero is, from what I'm understanding and what I've seen people play of it, the first really good shooter in VR. Like, it's actually made well for it. And Beat Saber is the Star Wars game that we deserved on Xbox Connect.
It does look really cool. I did order VR, by the way. I just ordered it today.
Did you get one?
Got my PSVR coming. Yep, nice. I got the Astrobot and Moss bundle, so I'll be having that pretty soon. Man. I'm really excited about that. $200, man. Comes with the camera, comes with the headset and 2 games. Yeah, I thought that was pretty damn good.
A good space down there to set that up too.
Yeah, for sure. I want Astrobot to win. I've watched it. It's like Beat Saber is cool, but it's it's one thing. Like it's a you're swinging around lightsabers towards music notes. Like, I don't know. I just feel like what Astrobot is doing, if you've watched it, it's so innovative. It is that sort of Super Mario 64 moment for VR, as a lot of people are calling it. So I think it should win. I think it actually will win, too. I think Astrobot will win.
Pretty cool, dude.
It looks freaking awesome.
It looks challenging, too. Like, watching it, I'm like, there's no way I could do this.
I've heard Beat Saber is like the game where it's like, it feels like you think VR is going to feel like. It's the first one. Right. It's like you're doing it and it's it.
I'm doing it, Peter. I'm doing it.
But I don't fucking know. I still haven't even demoed VR.
So you guys don't have an opinion here?
I
got an opinion, yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I think that Tetris Effect, I think a Beat Saber should win, and I think Tetris Effect will win.
Okay.
I think Tetris Effect should win, and I think Astrobot will win.
Interesting. All right, best mobile game: Donut County, Florence, Fortnite, PUBG Mobile, and Reigns, Game of Thrones.
I abstain from such a topic.
So there's three games on here to vote for. From what I'm understanding, though, Donut County is really good.
Well, Fortnite did come out on mobile this year.
It did, but that's unfair. So
that's not really unfair. It came out on mobile this year.
I think that's bullshit.
I think Fortnite will win. I think Fortnite probably should win.
I think Fortnite will win.
Yeah, that's what I would say as well.
Only because that is a pretty impressive feat.
You're right. Getting something like that to work well and with the other consoles, right?
Like, it's the full Fortnite game.
Yeah, You're right.
It is. All right, best strategy game: BattleTech, Frostpunk, Into the Breach, The Banner Saga 3, Valkyrie. I'm not sure how you say it. Valkyria Chronicles 4. Valkyria Chronicles. Oh yes, I have heard it said that way. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I have no opinion.
I got nothing. Yeah,
nothing.
I don't even know.
Guys, let us know in the chat what you think. Because no opinion on any of those games. I'm just gonna rewind this again. We're taking so long. I gotta rewind this video 3 times. All right. Okay, finally, here it is. Game of the Year: Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Celeste. Can I just get a little shout out here? by being the one who said Celeste should be nominated and will be nominated. I just want to get a little shout out there. Thank you.
Big ups to Andrew for saying that shit.
God of War, Marvel's Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World, and Red Dead Redemption 2. I will stay with what I said earlier. I think this is ballsy because, again, I think it's going to be split between God of War and Spider-Man, so that could hurt it. I think God of War should win, and I think God of War will win.
I don't think Spider-Man is going to... I think Spider-Man is going to be this year's Horizon, where everyone loved it. It's super acclaimed, but I think it's going to get panned big time.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is unfortunate. But here's the thing. God of War had to have 4, 5, 6, however many games you depend on including, however many games to get to this version of God of War, which is the Game of the Year version. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the race for Game of the Year is going to definitely be between Red Dead and God of War. But I think my personal Game of the Year as well, God of War should win, and I think God of War will win.
Oh my. Mike?
God of War should. I still think Red Dead will.
Yeah. That's probably the safer bet, honestly.
I think the more that Red Dead has had out in the field, the more people got real about it and stopped kidding themselves.
Yeah, but then there's also recency bias, and Red Dead's got that in spades.
That's true.
Right. And you got the people that are casual, hardcore fans.
That's
true.
true.
You got the people that think they're really hardcore, so they only watch things like this, but they don't really dive deep, and so they want to talk the lingo of look at how great this looks and the technical feat of it. I mean, honestly, when I go to work, like I have 4 people there that play games. All of them are pretty casual. For the most part, except for 1, and 3 of them, all they're talking about is Red Dead. Not one of them has even touched God of War.
I don't necessarily think just mass appeal is enough to get something Game of the Year.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I just think if it's because it's voter impacted, I think it's going to have more of an impact on what will actually win. People like that, he's like 2 of those people are definitely people that are going to be watching the Game Awards. The one I'm thinking of in particular, I know he's going to vote for Red Dead. Even though he tried God of War, he just never finished it.
Here's what I would counter that with, though. All of the casuals who have heard about Red Dead are not the type of people who are logging on to GameAwards.com and voting.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I will tell you right now, I think it's a 50-50 chance.
By the way, did you guys see? This really bothers me. Sorry to interrupt, but did you see that your vote counts extra? It's weighted if you share it on social media.
That's
is that a bunch of bullshit or what?
That is so.
That taints the whole entire thing.
Yeah, that's
Jeff Keighley. I know you're watching this right now. What a fucking dumbass move that was.
That is a stupid.
The whole thing is tainted now. None of it even matters anymore. Honestly. It's tainted.
That's 100% advertisement driven. That's
it's completely tainted now. So that's a bummer.
Yeah. Well, at least we can still watch and hope there's some good reveals, I guess.
Can I say something that I know is going to piss I think one of you off? I think Marvel's Spider-Man is the least deserving winner of any of these for Game of the War. And that's not to say that it definitely isn't bad by any means. I think that any of these games on here should win before Marvel.
You think Monster Hunter World and Assassin's Creed Odyssey should win Game of the Year over Spider-Man?
Yeah, I do. Monster Hunter World is beloved by so many. And it's a really good game. I couldn't get into it, but that doesn't mean anything because I wasn't the audience they were going for.
I have not played Assassin's Creed Odyssey or Monster Hunter World, but of the 4 that I have played, the other ones, Spider-Man is my lowest, personally. I still liked it a lot. I think it was great.
Side of the bed.
I think it was great. Don't get me wrong, Dean. I thought it was great. I really liked it a lot. But yeah, God of War, Red Dead, and I really, really like Celeste.
Here's the thing: Red Dead. If everyone's being fucking honest with themselves, should not be fucking Game of the Year. It shouldn't be anywhere near.
No, I don't think it should be Game of the Year either. I think it should be near it. I think it should be near it, but I don't think it should be Game of the Year.
For as much right as it's done, there are fundamental problems as just a video game that game has.
I'm in agreement with you. Yes.
Now, in terms of Spider-Man, it is not without its flaws. However, from the second you pick up that controller, you're fucking having a great time.
I think you're right as far as traversal goes. It took a little while for the combat to click.
Combat's hard, But
it wasn't that it was hard. It just wasn't clicking with me necessarily for, I'd say, the first 25+%. I think as far as open world, since they're both open world, Red Dead does so many unique, innovative things with the open world aspect of it all, and Spider-Man really does nothing new with its open world.
Warm Coat.
So
I'm 20 hours into Red Dead Warm Coat.
It takes a long time.
20 hours, bro.
Right.
Chapter 2, I think 20 hours of gameplay.
I'm guessing you guys talked about this at the beginning.
To have a couple of criticisms over it.
I agree.
Yeah,
I'm with you. Like people that say, "Oh,
yeah.
but you're only 25% of the way in." If I put in 20 hours and I'm still not like feeling
That's
it,
not my problem. Yeah, like
yeah.
get fun faster. That's your job as a video game.
Mhm.
I shouldn't have to wait fucking 30 hours in it really picks up. Like get out of here, dude.
Yeah. I remember
That's
when Final
insane.
Fantasy 13 came out, that was the big argument because it takes about 35 hours to get to the open world part of that game. And everybody's complaining about a linear, and the response was always, wait, you just gotta wait. 35 hours in, it opens up. I promise. And it's like, what the, like, why should I have to wait 35 hours for this game to become what I want it to become?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm with you there. I'm with you.
And I'm not saying Spider-Man is my game of the year. It's not. It has problems. I'm just saying, I think just because I'm in chapter 2 does not negate like the criticisms over that game. And I don't think it should be game of the year because of it, especially because God of War is
Was near perfect on so many
yeah,
levels.
like no one moment is wasted in that game. You stop to hear the dialogue in the fucking boat.
Mhm.
Like when you're
I've never traversed in a boat for longer than I like in a transport.
yeah, that game is an
ever.
experience, dude. They do not
It's
waste
so good.
any of your time. Everything is so
I think
well
the
thought out.
only thing I can even come close to complaining about with God of War is I was a little confused by the armor upgrade system at the very beginning. But once it clicked for me, I was like, I honestly, I don't know if I have any complaints about that game.
I'm trying
I
to
love that
remember
I love it.
about
Absolutely
the
love it.
armor upgrade system.
Right now, I think God of War is my favorite game of this generation.
I was gonna
Absolutely.
say,
I'm
I
right
was
there
gonna
with you,
say,
man.
I think God of War is like the game that I would have represent this console generation.
I'm with you. We gotta start moving. Games for
start.
Impact: 11-11, Celeste, Florence, Life is Strange 2, The Missing. Celeste should win, will win. Tells an amazing story about depression and anxiety, and in the meantime filters it through a really clever, quippy dialogue and storyline. Unbelievable game. Just great.
I don't know enough about the other ones, but I'll agree with you because they were able to make a fun, goofy game that if you don't want to pay attention to the story, you can still have a enjoyable time with.
Yep.
So
Yeah, Celeste, both. Will
There you
should.
go. Best game direction: A Way Out, Detroit Become Human, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption 2. God of War should win, will win. That was a vision that Cory Barlog had. He executed it 100%.
Single camera shot.
Knew exactly what he wanted to do and made it happen. There wasn't any
Agreed.
concessions. Meanwhile, Red Dead Redemption 2 takes 8 years. They figured out 5 years of the way in that they decided to make it letterboxed during cinematics. That is bad direction.
I would say for direction, Spider-Man would be a close second for me because I think
They nailed it. Yep.
Brian Intihar really understood Spider-Man.
Yes, he did. I 100% agree with you there. Did a great job. Detroit Become Human. The reason for that I think it deserves to be on this list and is high up there. David Cage surprised the shit out of me with that game. Always thought that he was a poor writer and poor director that got
Great
lucky
game.
with Heavy Rain. Nope, he did not get lucky. Detroit Become Human is a great game, one of the best of the year, and he deserves some
Agreed.
credit for that. So I think that's deserving to be on the list for sure. Best narrative. I'm going to sound like a broken record. Detroit Become Human, God of War, Life is Strange 2, Marvel Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption 2, God of War should win, will win.
I am gonna say Spider-Man should win, and I think God of War will win.
I think Red Dead is the biggest competition for God of War in this one because Red Dead does have a great narrative, but it's a slow burn. I'm not sure everybody's going to connect with that.
Right, that's the
Probably.
thing is that I don't know. Yeah, I feel like the people that I think we're going to vote for Game of the Year are not going to vote for it for best narrative, or if they do, they're just going to vote for it because that's the only one they know. Because they're probably not the ones that finish it that far in. They just like the open worldness. But I think God of War should win, and it probably will win. Looking at it, yeah.
Great, well-told story in that game. Great cinematics, great voice acting. I felt every moment of that game. Even streaming it, which is something that can be tough to do, is to emotionally connect with a game when you're streaming it. I felt everything in that game.
Did you guys 100%? Did you go and do everything?
I'm pretty far along, but I haven't quite yet. I still am on the Valkyrie Queen.
Okay.
I did not. I don't know if I'm going to.
Cool.
Good night, Gerzon Bear. Thanks for stopping in as always, man. Moving on. Best art direction: Assassin's Creed Odyssey, God of War, Octopath Traveler, Red Dead Redemption 2, Return of Obra Dinn. Guess what? God of War should win. Will win. I'm sorry. Come on. Art direction? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Red Dead is amazing, but Red Dead is based on a real time period. God
Yeah.
of War, they took Norse mythology and they did their own thing with it even. And they did such an amazing job of realizing that mythology.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Assassin's
Octopath?
Creed is the
Oh,
one
wow, really?
I'm going back and forth with.
I can understand that. That game is gorgeous, man.
It's
It
crazy.
is really
looking.
good looking, but you know what though? When I'm looking at a game, here's my thing, Dean, is that when I'm looking at Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and then I look at a game like Red Dead, that's where I'll compare it. Honestly, Drew brings up a good point with them reimagining, Greek, or Norse mythology and everything and all that with God of War. But Assassin's Creed lends from a period in history that in the same way Red Dead does, and I think Red Dead absolutely blows it out of the water in terms of visuals.
I would disagree.
You think Red Dead
personally.
blows Assassin's Creed Odyssey out of the water?
Oh, absolutely, dude.
I disagree.
I completely
So,
disagree.
Seeing the
Yeah.
amount of games that seeing it in the way I have, like, dude, I can't, like, they have the cinematic like picture taking thing that you actually, I think you have to take it in a certain spot or something like that. I think. So they make you do it. And
Here's
you
the
can't-
thing, dude. With 4K, and as long as this game took, Red Dead Redemption 2, it has a ton of detail. It's a great looking game.
Yeah, it really is beautiful.
Their 4K is not even 4K. They have to put that shit. It's rendered in 1080p, and your PS4 Pro's upscaling it. It's not even like it doesn't look that good in 4K HDR at all. In HDR, it looks like complete shit.
What,
In regular
Red Dead?
4K, yeah, it barely. It looks like 900p.
Let me respond to Doom Turkey real quick. You're thinking about two different things, or at least differently than we are. Yes, the skinning in Red Dead is amazing. The detail in Red Dead is amazing. That's not necessarily what we're talking about here. We're talking about visual fidelity. We're not talking about 1,000 people that worked on Red Dead being able to put this amount of detail into the game over 8 years.
Right.
That's what happens when you have 1,000 people working 60, 70-hour weeks for 8 years. Assassin's Creed,
Right.
again, another big team. Ubisoft is a huge team, but they channeled that game out in probably 3 to 4 years maximum. So yes, you can put more detail in when you have more time to work on things. We're talking about visual fidelity. And I think
From
Assassin's
what I've
Creed
seen
Odyssey
now-
is more impressive in that regard.
You guys have both the pros and 4K TVs. To me, I'm playing on a standard PS4 and a 1080p TV. So from what my visuals have been, Assassin's Creed, it looks decent, but I thought from everything I've seen, Red Dead looks far better.
Interesting.
I played
so
them both running in 4K HDR, and Assassin's Creed looks so much better than Red Dead.
Interesting. I
There you
wonder
go.
if it upscales it better then.
I don't know.
Best
but
independent game: Celeste, Dead Cells, Into the Breach, Return of Obra Dinn, and The Messenger. I've played 3 of these. Dead Cells is great. It really is. It's so good. But that style of game, the rogue, it does eventually start to get repetitive for me. Celeste is a tight, focused experience and knew exactly what it wanted to do. It affected me. It had amazing gameplay. I would vote for Celeste here. It should win, and I think it will win.
Agreed. Celeste should and will. And for the record, the last topic, I say God of War should win, but I think Red Dead will win.
Okay. Mike, any race or horse in this race for independent game?
Yeah, I think Celeste should win. But I don't know if Celeste or The Messenger will win.
Yeah, I don't think The Messenger will win. Great game,
I
though.
think it might, because there's a lot of people that were like blown away by the turn. I know there's a lot of people that played it and then were like kind of confused by that twist. But I think once that happened, they got the hang of it. They were really like receptive of it because it turned it into a different game for them. So
Yeah, it's a very cool game. I did a bounty for that game, and it was a lot of fun. Best sports racing game: FIFA 19, Forza Horizon 4, Mario Tennis Aces, NBA 2K19, Pro Evolution Soccer. Forza Horizon 4 should win.
absolutely.
I'm not
I
sure
think it
will
should,
win.
and I think it will.
You think it will? I hope it does.
I think
it will.
Forza should, and I think FIFA will.
Oof. Yuck. All right.
Yep. I agree.
Best
I agree.
multiplayer game: Call of Duty, Black Ops 4, Destiny 2, Fortnite, Monster Hunter World, Sea of Thieves. Fortnite will win. I think Black Ops 4 should win.
Blop should, and I know the safer bet is to say Fortnite will, but I'm gonna say Blops will win too.
That'd be awesome.
I think they deserve it, dude. This is like quite a package, Black Ops 4.
Yeah. And they defied expectations, man. They really did.
They defied my own. I am the most like anti-battle royale guy, and fucking Blackout is so fun.
I think Black Ops 4 should, and Fortnite will win.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
Best ongoing game: Destiny 2, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, Overwatch, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. I think No Man's Sky should win. I think Fortnite will win.
I think
impressed with No Man's
Overwatch
Sky.
should win, and I think Fortnite will win.
I only say No Man's Sky because what a turnaround, man.
Yeah, but like
They did a
isn't
great
it
job
kind
turning
of
the game
too
around.
late. Like at
It
some
is, but still,
point.
I appreciate the effort, and I want to recognize
I do
it.
too. I do too. It's
They're
not
still adding, man. You
unappreciated.
see the new one they're adding? It pretty much makes it Subnautica.
However, I would counter that with Overwatch, great from the start, and then consistently releasing great content
Yep.
for how
Don't
long?
disagree
now,
with that. But
you know?
like, how many years has Overwatch been out? And didn't they also get nominated last
It's
year? for
called
this?
ongoing game, Andrew.
Yeah,
I
and
know,
they're
but
just-
like, can we give it to
You
somebody
just
else?
explained it.
Can we give it to somebody
explained
else?
It's ongoing.
yeah,
Give
well,
it to
maybe
somebody
there's
else.
somebody else
Let's
who's
give somebody else a
who's
chance.
not a
That doesn't
coward.
mean
like
anything.
No Mansky.
I'm
That's
not even
like
gonna let
saying,
Mike vote
can
on this
someone
one.
else have a better MMO, than WoW. Like, okay, we'll make one. Like, there's a reason why it's been that way. That said, I'm honestly torn between Overwatch and Fortnite should win.
Yeah, they're both amazing when it comes to
And I
support.
can't believe I'm saying that because how much I love Overwatch and how much I've written off Fortnite.
Wait, what was your answer? Say it again.
He's
Both
torn.
Fortnite and Overwatch, I'm torn.
Honestly, if anyone should be like give it to somebody else, I think it should be Rainbow Six Siege because they also really turned shit around.
They
They've really
have,
turned shit
they have,
around.
yeah.
I honestly don't think No Man's Sky should be on this list, and not for any bad reason. I just think,
What?
and I think, well, I mean, don't get me wrong. Ongoing game, I guess I understand it. Destiny 2 should absolutely not be on this list because it's not the best of any category ever. But I think that No Man's Sky is also not in nearly the same league as Fortnite, Overwatch, and Rainbow Six.
Super Dave actually made a really interesting point and said, I know it shouldn't make a difference, but will Stanley's death kind of influence the Spider-Man game winning any of these awards?
It
Uh,
might.
Possibly.
There's a
Yeah.
small chance, honestly. I don't think
Yeah.
it's going to like carry away everything, but I think there's a
I think
chance.
it would because this is viewer voted. So
Right.
yes, there's definitely potential for that to influence things. Yeah.
In which
Let's move
case,
on.
all my dreams come true and Spider-Man wins everything.
That would be interesting. Best score music: Celeste, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, Ni no Kuni 2, Octopath Traveler, Red Dead Redemption 2. I know you like that Spider-Man music; it is good. But
I
God
do.
of War is a score I listen to literally every
I
single
listen
day
to both
at work.
quite frequently.
That freaking God of War score is magical, man. That is an amazing score, and I'm especially surprised because Bear McCreary does fine work. I like his work on The Walking Dead and all, but I never expected him to churn out something like God
Nothing
of
like
War.
that.
That is amazing score from him. I got.
I'm gonna
God of War here.
I'm gonna stick with Spider-Man on this one
Okay,
because
I get
I
it.
really am taken with that. It's perfect, dude. Especially when it swells up with the web swinging. Oof, what a
Mhm.
number.
That first, well, actually, that's actually a track that they pulled. I can't remember what the opening is, but I do love that opening when the music is playing and you jump out the window for the first time. That's not his orchestral score, but still, I do love that moment.
Mhm.
God of War should. Spider-Man will win.
I think Spider-Man will win as well. Yeah.
Oh my!
I'm honestly, I want to make sure that people understand how great the score for Octopath is, especially as
It's
well,
good.
just because of what type of game it is. I think they did a really good job. It gets repetitive because they just
Yeah,
loop the
it's
same
good,
song.
but considering how it was built up, I wasn't that impressed by it, especially in comparison to my favorite JRPG soundtracks and scores. But it was good. It wasn't bad. Best audio design: Call of Duty, Forza, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't really have a horse in this race. I think Spider-Man might actually win this one.
I think Forza deserves it.
Yeah, that's something I've heard they're actually not the best with, though, when it comes to the actual engine sounds and such. But
Really,
I think Spider-Man should and will again.
yeah,
Because of the detail they actually put into, like, for instance, the two separate tracks, whether you're moving or standing still, for all of the dialogue in between in the city, that's fucking insane.
Yeah,
Do you know about this? Everybody knows about this?
I do know
What was
about that.
that?
Yeah.
In Spider-Man, there are two different takes of the dialogue that run depending on if you're swinging or if you're standing still. If you're swinging around, Peter sounds more like exasperated with whoever he's talking on the phone with. And if you stop and just stand on a rooftop or something, the track switches and goes to like the more subtle, subdued take.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's actually pretty impressive.
It's fucking nuts, dude.
That is really cool.
Spider-Man should win.
And finally, best performance: Christopher Judge as Kratos, Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan, Yuri Lowenthal as Peter Parker, Melisanthe Mahut as Cassandra, Brian DeChart as Connor. I do love the performance from Kratos, but it's kind of one note. I think it should either be Yuri Lowenthal or Brian DeChart actually as Connor. I really loved Connor.
I'm surprised they didn't do what's his name from Grey's Anatomy as best performance, because his performance was really good too.
What? Who are we talking about? the other guy. Yeah.
The main guy.
I completely forgot he's in Grey's Anatomy.
Marcus?
I'm only 6 seasons in, so.
Danielle's rewatched it, I think, like twice now. So
Yeah, I'm watching it now. I'm going through it.
I think Yuri Lowenthal should win. I think Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan will win.
Yeah, that's not a bad. I like his performance. I don't know. It's just something about Yuri's performance, especially in that final moments of Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah. It was
That shit
powerful,
was-
man.
mm.
Some powerful
good.
shit. That was
That
good.
whole game was chock full of great fucking voice performances.
Yeah. Connor deserves recognition. Warm Code, I'm glad you voted for
Yeah.
him. He
Agreed.
deserves some recognition.
Agreed.
Looking up that blue blood takes a lot of
Agreed.
takes a lot of effort from a voice actor's perspective. All right, that's let's just go forward. That is the 20 nominations for the Game Awards. Did you guys see that CBS is doing their own Game Awards as well?
oh my god, how
No.
shitty is this, dude? It is so stupid.
It's a couple days after the Game Awards, and they like literally just announced it.
Wow.
Like, and what's great about it too is Jeff Keighley just posted on Twitter right after the announcement, just SMH. That's all he posted on Twitter, and nothing else.
That's
So-
crazy. I didn't hear anything about this.
Yeah, it's funny, man. All right, moving on. Mortal Kombat 11 has supposedly leaked. Mike, tell us more.
All right, Mortal Kombat 11 leaks have come in. PSU writes Mexican voice actor and director Eduardo Garza, who has lent his talent to the likes of Lucio in Overwatch and Krillin in Dragon. Oh, Lucio is Krillin. Oh, that's awesome.
In the
may have
Mexican
let
version.
slip- Huh?
In the Mexican version, I guess.
I guess I don't know, man. That's awesome. He's such a cool dude. I love him. May have let slip that Mortal Kombat 11 is in the works. In a tweet sent out today, translated from Spanish, it reads, "Well, finally I confirmed that the professionals of at Pink Noise LLC decided to remove my characters from Mortal Kombat 11. How sad that a company that wanted a lot ends up making decisions that affect both you, the consumers. Goodbye, Kung Lao and Reptile." The company that he has tweeted to on Twitter is Pink Noise Studios. Apparently, that company has removed him from the Spanish dubbing of Mortal Kombat 11, which has yet to be finally officially announced. Garza was supposed to be voicing both Reptile and Kung Lao. This now ties in nicely with growing rumors that Mortal Kombat 11 will be officially announced at the Game Awards 2018.
Conveniently, we just talked about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of shitty. That really sucks. Like he's really good. Like so he's a really cool dude. Like he actually put together the like a viral video of him as like Lucio in real life, and then goes up to a bunch of the other Overwatch voice actors and like interacts with them, and has them interact with him. And he's done like game streams, I think, with the guy that did Winston as well, and a couple other people. So he's a really fun dude, and it kind of sucks that he got scrapped out. But at the same time, it's like, don't you know that that's how it kind of goes in that industry? Like, this clearly isn't your first go at this. Maybe it was his first rejection.
Maybe.
But I'm excited. I love Mortal Kombat 10.
I'm excited to see what it looks like because, my God, what a jump in quality from Mortal Kombat 10 to Injustice, man. The motion capture, the facial motion capture and shit on that game is one of the best I've ever seen. And for it to jump from the graphics in Mortal Kombat 10 to that, I'm really excited to see them use that new engine, whatever the hell they're doing. I can't wait to see what that looks like on Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
That's going to be cool. That's going to be really cool. So,
I agree. I love Mortal Kombat 10. I think I honestly, and I know the hot take, I like Mortal Kombat 10 more than I like Injustice, and not for any, I think the superheroes are really cool, and I enjoy playing it. I just think that I like the combat more in Mortal Kombat 10 than
I don't know that that's
in,
that hot a take. I think there are probably more Mortal Kombat fans than Injustice
so?
fans. Yeah, Mortal Kombat's been around forever. It's like a classic at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dean,
Yo.
you're up with the next story.
All right.
All right.
The new IP from Luminous Productions is in development for PS5 exclusively, maybe? Question mark. Per Square writes, Square Enix is working on a new AAA title for the PlayStation 5. According to the LinkedIn profile of a 3D character model artist at Luminous Productions, while the resume has since been updated to remove any reference to Sony's next-gen system, the internet managed to screen grab it ahead of time. It's legitimate, all right. It's perhaps not a massive surprise considering the PlayStation marker has already said that it will release a new console at some point, but this confirms what many of us have suspected, that software is already in the works.
Surprise.
You think it's
Surprise.
that? You think this is like new IP, or are we thinking this is that?
This is a
Avengers
new
toy?
IP. This is the one
Yeah.
that Tabata was working on before he resigned recently.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard about that. He resigned from
I did.
Luminous Productions. So I think the question is actually, to me, PS5 is the only one named actually on LinkedIn, which I thought was kind of surprising, especially considering I just don't think Square Enix is that studio anymore. I don't think they'll ever do another exclusive game. But I'm curious if the chat especially thinks, is it possible? Do you think that this game that Tabata was working on and now Luminous Productions is working on could be exclusive to just PS5? I don't think so. I think it's probably going to be an Xbox and PS5 game.
Yeah,
Maybe it's only streaming available.
I very highly
maybe.
doubt that.
Oh, did you? Is that?
We
oh,
talked
wait.
about that.
Maybe that's
It's a slot
sorry.
back.
No, not that.
Oh.
Never mind. It's coming. It's
Yeah, we
coming
do
later.
have
I
that.
just
We do
watched.
have that in there, and you can rub it in Mike's face if you want, Dean. That's fine.
You can deal with it.
You guys can vote on the poll right now. We got active in the chat. What do you think will be the platforms released for this, whatever this IP is going to be from Luminous Productions? Moving on, we got two trailers that we're going to do this week. One of them is actually a bounty, so I'll explain that in just a moment here, but I got to activate the bounty and all first. If you guys wouldn't mind going to the link provided, it's a Dropbox link, weirdly enough.
Oh, that's a trailer?
That is a trailer.
Oh.
That is a trailer
There's three
that...
trailers we're about to do, it looks like.
Yeah, I have the other two queued up. I didn't know that Dropbox
Yes,
one
I'm
was,
going to have us watch two trailers for this first one because the one that we have to watch for the bounty is only 30 seconds long, and I feel like doesn't give us enough to talk about, honestly.
Okay.
So I'd like us to watch two. We're going to watch the one that the bounty
The
has
Dropbox
us
one?
have to watch.
We're doing that
The
first?
Dropbox one is
Yeah.
first, and then we'll do the YouTube one after that.
Okay.
I'm ready whenever you guys are.
All right, just give me a sec here because I've got to get set up myself a little bit, and I've got to activate the bounty and a few other things. All right, bounty, start tracking bounty.
What the fuck is this trailer?
This
It's a new show.
it's a new show exclusive to Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Hold your horses,
I'm holding him, big guy. I'm holding him.
big guy. Oh my. Okay. I gotta retitle the stream and everything. It has to be titled as being sponsored and stuff like that.
Oh, dude. You know what's really cool? So, while Drew's doing this, Dean, I just saw on Reddit, there's a story. My uncle passed away earlier this year, and his son is a graphic designer who worked on Black Ops 4. In his dad's honor, he placed a military photo in a couple spots in the game, and he showed a screen capture of it.
That's
and it's
awesome.
apparently posted around. That's a really cool Easter egg.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Okay, the bounty has officially begun. And let me get this video up on screen real quick.
Yo, Mike, you gonna be around this Thanksgiving weekend, dude?
Nope. So
You
here,
know
you
what?
want to hear how shitty my work schedule is? Wednesday
Yeah,
night, Wednesday, 2:30 to 9:30 p.m. Thursday, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Sleep for maybe 3 hours because I have to come back at 2 p.m. and work till 9 p.m. Saturday, 3 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. Sunday, 10 to 9 p.m., which, by the way, Drew, I'm probably going to be doing the show from home because I'm going to be at work for, 11 hours. And then Monday, 3:30 to 11 p.m.
I hate to cut you
Well-
guys off here, but we do have to do the bounty. Like, we
Yeah, let's do
activated it, so we got to do
Right,
it.
do it.
All right. Welcome, level uppers, to a live reaction time. This is a bounty reaction we're about to do here for Amazon Prime original show called Homecoming, starring Julia Roberts. We're going to watch this 30-second teaser, which is the one we have to watch the bounty. I'm going to add in the full trailer as well so we get a little bit better of an idea of what this show is about, and then we'll talk about what we see here. So I will give Dean and Mike joining me here, a 3, 2, 1, and we're going to watch this trailer. You guys ready?
Yes.
Let's go.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Did not start for me. Sorry, guys. Could you rewind it to the beginning again?
Yeah,
It's
you
not
got it.
starting for me. Started for you guys?
Yeah, it played for me right away.
All right, I'm going to try and refresh the page. Let's try again. There we go. 3, 2, 1, go. There we go.
Homecoming is a safe space for you to reflect on your service and think about what comes next. I can't wait to hear your stories and talk to you about where you see yourself in the years to come. Does anyone have any questions I can answer?
Huh.
Very ominous, but not a lot to go off of, right?
No,
Yeah.
but you know what though? It grabbed my attention.
Right. We'll get to that in a moment. I agree. It grabs my attention as well. Let's go to the next trailer as well real quick here.
Okay.
All right, we're going to now watch. This is the full trailer for Homecoming. You can find on YouTube or anywhere. The first one was the one we had to watch through the bounty. All right, I will once again give you guys a 3, 2, 1. Ready?
Mhm.
Yes.
3, 2, 1, go.
Heidi Bergman, correct?
Yeah, do I know you?
I'm Thomas Carrasco with the Department of Defense. You were employed at the Homecoming Transitional Support Center. We received a complaint about that program.
Have a seat, please. We can get started. You acknowledge that your participation in the Homecoming Transitional Support Center is voluntary and uncoerced. I just need you to verbally acknowledge that.
Oh, yeah, yes, I do. What we need is passion.
Homecoming is a safe space to process your military experience and think about what comes next.
You think they tell us the truth? Kind of do, yeah. How do you know that? Whatever these men are holding on to, that's exactly what we need to know. We're gonna keep this locked tonight. You just have to watch everything you say. They don't give a shit what it is we were trying to do. I don't even understand what I'm thinking sometimes. Warned him about her. Warned him about what?
I'm like so not into this.
Okay. That's a good place to stop for today.
That's interesting. So you're not into it.
Not
That's
at
funny.
all.
I am into it. For one, because it's done from the creator of Mr. Robot.
That was
So
the
that's-
one part that got my attention. Yeah.
Visually, the show looks spectacular from a cinematography
Right.
standpoint.
Yes.
What's so weird about it to me is like it doesn't show anything directly ominous, but the entire trailer is so ominous the whole
Well,
way
and
through.
I think that's, believe it or not, I was more into the first trailer than I was the second one, and only for the sheer fact of you need to stop giving me trailers that are just ominous and suspenseful without giving me anything to go on.
Right,
This
it
is
doesn't tell
all
you anything.
crust and no sandwich, and I have no idea what I'm about to eat.
So
like,
it
I
looks
just-
like if we're trying to ascertain what this is about. Military men coming home, homecoming,
Right.
going through a sort of psychiatric evaluation maybe when they get back. But
Get out too.
there could be two sides of it. Either one, there's something ominous going on with this facility and how they're treating the soldiers, or maybe the soldiers experience something that they're trying to pull out of them. I don't know. There's not a lot to go off of there, but I must say I'm interested. I really like the way visually the show looks. It has a lot of great actors. You got I'm trying to think of his name there from
Lip.
from
I can't remember the
yeah
actor's
Lip
name.
from Showtime's Shameless,
Shameless.
which
yeah.
is a good show. He's a great
Pretty
actor.
sandwich, no substance though. Yes.
Yeah, it's I get it. There isn't a lot of substance here, but it's a teaser, right? It's a trailer, it's a teaser. It's not supposed to tell us
One's
entirely.
a trailer though. It said the official trailer. It didn't say
Mhm.
teaser.
No, I don't disagree with that. What do you think? Why do we keep seeing like Instagram filter as well, like where it's cropped?
Yeah,
Instagram
I don't know.
cropped.
That was
I don't know
very
what that's
weird.
all about. I have no idea what's going on there.
Yeah, and I think that's the only thing that sucks is like I really am into. I love stuff like this. I don't know if I'll watch it because I always say I'm into this type of stuff and never watch them. But like it has my attention. You know, I actually like both of the main actors. And then Julia Roberts is unfortunately the biggest negative of it. But
Really,
Like,
I don't
like
really
Julia Roberts?
like her
hate Julia
necessarily, but I
Roberts.
think she's a good actress.
I don't feel any kind of particular way about her.
luckily, she doesn't smile a lot in this
An
one.
actress
But
out there.
Oh God, stop it.
Have I ever told the story of my only experience with Mr. Robot?
No, I don't think you have.
No.
It's short. So this was a long time ago. This is when I was sleeping in like my old bedroom before Jen moved in or anything. And I woke up in the middle of the night at like 3 or like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I fell asleep with my TV on super loud, and it was just like this weird fucking. It was the music like that. It was like super weird, eerie.
Oh, I think you did tell me
Fucking
about this.
music,
You
and it
were
was
really
like-
thrown off.
Yeah, and it was like just him with like in this fucking computer room, and it was like so fucked up and weird. And I woke up and like my heart was like racing so fast. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? What is happening?
Mr. Robot
was
is a
so
trippy
freaked
show.
out.
Mr. Robot especially gets trippy in the second season, which I will admit I actually dipped out of, not because I wasn't liking it. It's just Kristen was too trippy for her, so we dipped out together. I really enjoyed the first season of Mr. Robot.
I heard it was
and
good.
As I was just saying, like this director, this creator, visually his stuff I think is spectacular. I really love the way he frames his shots, and it has a sort of David Fincher lighting to it that I really appreciate. So I'm almost in for that alone, and I hope I can find the time to watch this. I don't know if Kristen would be into it, but I'm going to try and find the time to at least watch the first episode and see what I feel about it. So I'll let you guys know, but I don't know. Either way, I just wanted to. This is our first time ever trying a bounty reaction. I thought it was
okay.
interesting. I also
it's
kind
a
of wanted to
good
talk about
choice.
that. I think it's really cool that they're doing this now, where they actually allow us to watch trailers, since we do that so often anyway. And I'm
Right.
curious to see what they start adding on there as far as trailer reactions go. And on top of that, something that they did recently with Homecoming, it's actually a show that's out already. You can watch it. They played the first episode on Twitch for 4 hours, I want to say, and there was a bounty to watch the first episode with your viewers, which I think is
Oh, that's
really
cool.
cool.
That's super cool.
Dude,
Because imagine if they start doing that with like more and more
happy.
Amazon Prime stuff, or maybe even
Right.
if they, I don't know if they would do this because it's a competitor, but imagine if they started doing it with Netflix shows and where you can watch stuff with your viewers and it'd be
Yeah,
a
that'd be
bounty. I think that's a
awesome.
really,
Yeah, they're
really
gonna do
cool
their
idea.
originals, I think only, but I think that's so cool though.
That's a really cool idea. So
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to shout that out as well by doing this bounty. But let us know what you guys thought, of course, in the chat. We're gonna move on to another trailer reaction. This one I think we're all really excited about.
Yeah, let's
get,
go.
let's
So
get
happy
set
for
up
this.
here. Let's get us set up. Let me know when you guys are ready.
I'm ready, dude.
I was ready, and then I put it full screen and decided to start playing.
All right, I'm gonna go to the reaction screen on this one and zoom in.
I'm just so happy that Pokemon is like really having a full on fucking.
It's a
Comeback
Pokemon year,
here.
man.
It's cool
It
stuff,
is.
man.
And you know,
Not
what's
that it
crazy
never
is,
really
no
like
more-
needed a
Right.
comeback, but like it's coming back anyway.
Mhm.
All right, I'm gonna introduce this because I'm definitely gonna put this on our YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, Michael. All right.
Well.
Welcome, level uppers, to a live reaction time. We are about to watch the premiere trailer for Detective Pikachu. Actually, I think its full title is Pokemon Detective Pikachu. This was released on Twitter by Ryan Reynolds, I think this week, right? It was this week, I believe, that this came out.
I think so.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
it
think
was
it
like
was this
Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah. We have all watched it. Let's just get that out. Wait, we've all watched it, right?
Yeah, I've watched
Yeah,
it.
so
I
there's
watched
not
it
like
a
an
few times,
organic
yeah.
reaction here, but we're gonna watch it again, and we gotta talk about this, man. We gotta talk about this. All right, I'll give you guys a 3, 2, 1. Are you ready?
You're gonna say 3, 2, 1, go, right?
Yes. On go, you press play. Are we ready?
Okay. Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Rhyme City, a celebration of the harmony between
So
humans
much
and
already.
Pokemon.
Yeah. The music, man.
Yeah.
Tim, your dad was a legend in this precinct. If you were anything like your dad.
I'm not.
I remember You wanted to be a Pokemon trainer when you were young.
Yeah.
I like the kids too.
Work out.
It almost feels like fan fiction, like to me, in a way.
It really does. Yeah.
Someone there? Whoever you are, I know how to use this.
I could do without this
Here we
stapler thing, but
Oh, you can't understand me. But put down the stapler, or I will electrocute you.
see, I think he's just going Pika Pika, Pika Pika, Pika Pika there.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Pretty much.
Did you just understand me?
Oh my God, you can understand me. Stop. I've been so lonely.
You try to talk to me all the time.
the best.
Pika Pika.
You can hear him, right?
Pika Pika! Yeah, Pika Pika Pika, he's adorable.
You're adorable. They can't understand me, kid.
Can no one else hear him?
I half expect him to make like a sexual comment there.
And what about
Right,
a
me
world-class
too.
detective? Because if you want to find your pops, I'm your best bet.
Music choice is on point.
Yes. Yes.
Love that.
Oh
There's magic
It's crazy,
that brought us
dude.
together,
my. This
and
is
that
a
magic
thing. This is
is
reality.
called hope.
Listen up. We got ways to make you talk. Or mine.
Yeah.
So tell us what we want to know. Pipe. Yes. Okay. I can.
Or
Shoving,
mine.
Pushing. My problem is that I push people away and then hate them for leaving.
He's saying you can shove it.
What? I can shove it? Okay, that's it. No, we're switching roles. I'm bad cop. You're good cop.
No, we're not cops.
That's awesome.
In my head, I saw that differently.
Unreal,
I
dude.
love it.
Never in a
Side
million
heaving,
years.
Confusion.
Unbelievable.
Jumping at you. Oh my god. I love
When they
it all
announced
so
this,
much.
I was like, "This is gonna be such a shit show."
We all shit on it. Remember,
We
talking
all were
about
shitting
Danny
on it.
DeVito
Everybody
doing
was
it.
shitting
Yeah.
on it. And now everybody's like hyped through the roof. It's got like 50 million views on YouTube. Everybody's hyped through the
Unbelievable,
roof.
dude.
Like, who
I
would have
think-
expected this?
So D-Day said our team rocking in this. I think that's who's the mastermind behind all of it. I think that's going to be like I don't know if it's going to be a secret reveal, but I think they're holding on to that for at least.
I
a little
think
bit
we're
longer.
just getting started, dude. I think this is gonna be their Iron Man 1, and we're about to fucking kick open the
Oh
doors.
my.
here.
Yeah,
Oh
what we
my.
should do if you just saw like a person that's supposed to be Brock or Ash or somebody like.
There's
I
got to
would
be
lose
some
my
kind of like
shit.
You think so?
cameo or Easter egg.
I don't know if we're gonna see it in this one, but I'm thinking like if anything, maybe they realize that they're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
this up after
That's-
credits.
But here's the thing:
Well,
is
I also
Detective
credit.
Pikachu in the same universe as Ash Ketchum and
Seemingly, I guess, according to this trailer, there's all still like the trainers and stuff. Like this is all within that world.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's. I mean, I don't think there's multiple Pokemon universes.
I
not,
want this
DC.
to set. I want this to pave the way
Mhm.
for the fucking Ash Ketchum story in this exact.
I would die,
format.
dude. I would die to see that in live action,
Yes.
realized
That's
as
all
well
I
as
want.
this is.
Not
I am,
even that,
there's like a polarization though, as far as the artistic direction of the Pokemon. I think
I
it's
love
great.
it.
I think they're so
love
good.
the
I didn't
fur
see
on
that people
Pikachu.
didn't like it.
There's a lot of people that think it's creepy. But I think that's just
Dude,
because of your
right.
preconceived notions of what Pokemon's supposed to be. It's supposed to look like
Yeah.
anime to you.
I
But-
never
Right.
knew what I thought it would look like in live
Right,
action.
right.
I've thought
This is
about this since I was like 7. Like I've
Right.
thought about this, but like I never knew what it should look like. You know what I mean?
Right.
And this
I
is
Can you
it.
imagine
This is
them
it,
recreating the
yes.
first Pokemon movie with like Pikachu with Ash turning to stone?
Yes, I was
Right,
in the
yeah.
movie theater crying.
Oh my
like,
god! But I'm
everyone
saying
should
that
have
imagine like a real like this type of version
Pikachu
of
slapping himself. Pika! Pika!
it.
That shit
Pika!
was sad.
Someone else said, "Oh, Jigglypuff better make an appearance." He did. He was right
He
in the
did.
trailer. Where were you?
But it does look a little unlike I think a lot of people thought Jigglypuff would look.
Really?
Pikachu, I would expect to have fur.
I don't. think there's
Jigglypuff, not
one-
as much. I didn't expect Jigglypuff
Really?
to be so
See,
furry.
that's weird to me. Like every single one of these
Wait,
creatures
let's
in here looks
let's
absolutely perfect.
discuss how much Charizard is amazing.
Oh my god! he's
Charizard
a
looks excellent. Charmander was there at the
character.
very beginning. Charmander looked
Yeah,
great.
dude.
We
and
saw
the whole
Bulbasaur.
squad of Bulbasaur.
Where's Squirtle, dude?
He's
in
got to
there.
be in there. He was
He
a
was.
bounty.
He's,
He was on a
is
wanted
he?
poster.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to go
hold
full
on.
video.
He is- Give me 1 second. I'm gonna see if I can find him. I thought he was in the.
I think I
trailer.
know. I think I know where he might be. I'm gonna try and put it up full screen once we get to that area. Yeah, I think all of them. Jigglypuff, I still like the way it looks. I'm a little surprised by the way it looks. This is the only thing that bothers me a little bit. This is a little like tropey cliche stapler thing. Like, I got a stapler. Didn't like that, and the kid's delivery of certain lines didn't quite land for me. But trailers, the way they're cut, sometimes they can throw that kind of shit off because you're coming into it at the wrong moment. We're gonna get there.
Awesome, dude.
That is amazing right there. I could just pause on that part.
Also, little known fact about me: Bulbasaur happens to be my favorite Pokemon.
Is it really?
Yes.
You've said this before, and I'm always surprised.
138.
I love that he's a little ugly, like leaf monster, and nobody really likes him that much, and I fucking love him.
Did you hear me,
you, man? I did. I don't have control over that necessarily. I have it playing multiple times throughout it.
Okay, it's right after the Charizard scene.
After the Charizard scene. Okay.
Yeah, when they're at the cages, he's on the right side.
Okay, I will.
I'm gonna tell you what.
Put it full screen now.
I wasn't really sure
There's
if Pikachu had fur.
Jigglypuff. Hold on a second. We're getting there. Charizard.
You know, the only one
that was not Squirtle. Oh, there he is on the very right. I saw him very shortly. Very short. Yeah.
Real quick.
Very quick. So, do you think all original 151 are going to be in this movie?
Absolutely not.
You can see they have some other gen Pokemon.
I think you're going to get a mix. I think here's why. You're not going to get whatever the pterodactyl dinosaur was. You're not going to get the unknowns. You're going to get a few of the really weird ones. But I think you're going to get a lot of them. They're really they're crossing over. Like if you look at Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, right now they're even crossing over what Pokemon are in the original universe, and I think it makes sense. Some of the Pokemon are like a little redundant with the ones that they've created, so it's a little disappointing, but at the same time it makes sense. So I'm actually not that bummed by it.
There's clearly a focus on the OG 151 though in this trailer.
Absolutely,
yeah, without a doubt. Bust, man. Come on.
Well, I mean, you got Greninja as a big focus in it too. Yeah, they were
He's got
the main villains.
Right.
It looks
no,
like right now.
I'm just saying that you can tell that they're focusing more on the OG than anything else in this trailer.
Yeah, I think they want to start from scratch for what everybody in the world knows. There are people that haven't looked at Pokemon in decades, and they're going to recognize, the Squirtle versus they're going to recognize Greninja or, Garatina or anybody else in there. So,
who are your guys' favorite Pokemon?
Squirtle.
Squirtle's up there. I do like Squirtle a lot. I mean, who doesn't love Pikachu? Especially after something like this, right? I mean,
he's the best.
He's freaking adorable, man. It's hard not to.
Pikachu's like Mickey Mouse. Like you can't say that's your favorite Disney character.
And you can say it's trading cliche, but come on. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah.
Can you imagine there's like at the end there's an after credit scene and it's like where do we go now? And you just see like a ticket for and it just says Pallet Town.
Oh my. I really hope they set it up, man. They need to.
Right.
This movie's gonna kill it in the box office.
God,
it's gonna kill it.
So psyched for
did you notice that like Toy Story released their teaser on the same day, and then they released another trailer like 2 days later? Yes, they had
it destroyed.
The wind taken out of their sails by this.
My favorite meme was like the girlfriend next to the guy that's looking back and everything. That was like the best meme because it's perfect.
Who would ever think Toy Story 4 would be overshadowed by Detective Pikachu?
I don't think Pixar is too used to anyone really like stepping on their toes.
Yeah, that was
like,
crazy,
this
man.
is what that feels like. This sucks.
Here's my vision, right? This movie ends, the credits roll. The next scene starts. At the end of the credits, it's an alarm clock. We see the hand trying to stop the alarm.
Oh my.
And over, it's Ash Ketchum waking up. And his mom comes in. You gotta get ready or whatever. Like, it's time to go. It's their big day. And
oh my god, dude.
Dude, I would lose my
Dude, the audience would freaking flip out. I want to see this at midnight, and I want that to happen.
Fuck yeah.
Farfetch'd is a good one, Tom. That's actually, you know what? He's up there for me, too.
Well, anyway, thank you so much for watching. To anybody watching on YouTube at youtube.com/levelupnetwork, we are dying to know what you think of the Pokemon Detective Pikachu trailer. Let us know in the comments below. Leave your feedback. And, of course, let us know what you thought of our reaction. Hit that like button if you liked it. Hit that dislike button if you did not like it. But most importantly, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. Make sure you get notifications whenever we upload new videos because we do put reactions up pretty often. Lastly, you might see we got this chat going on over here on the right. That's because we're doing this live right now. We do all of these live. Go to twitch.tv/thelevelupshow. Hit that follow button. Turn on notifications. Make sure you get alerts when we go live next. And we hope to see you then. Until then, take care. And as always, don't forget to level up.
Level up.
Alrighty.
I'm so happy to live in this world that we're in right this second.
It's the best.
It is crazy, man. It's crazy what's happened. What time we're living in. All right.
For real.
We're going to do a subscription gift giveaway. Let's get that active in the chat right now. Hold on a sec, guys. This will go to non-subs only. So if you are already a sub, please do not get in on this. We'll let this go for 5 minutes. All you got to do is type in ! sub gift if you are not yet a sub. Giveaway has been opened. We'll let that run for a moment. We're going to go to commercial break. I'm going to get a drink that doesn't have poison in it. And when we come back, we're going to go back into the level update. We're going to talk about some of the biggest news of the week. PlayStation E3 2019. Hold on tight. Joey Grips Live. We'll be back in approximately 60 seconds. Welcome back, Level Uppers, to the Level Up Show, episode 241. This is a gaming dedicated talk show on every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're enjoying the show, please remember to hit that heart button here at twitch.tv/levelupshow. Turn on notifications. Make sure you get those alerts whenever we go live. I'm on every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday with variety game streams. Mike's on every Tuesday, and we come together here every Sunday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, for the Level Up Show. Prize wheel is active. Anything worth $5 or more will get you a spin of the prize wheel. That means subbing, resubbing, pledging on Patreon, sharing, tipping, hosting for 10 viewers or more, and of course those Twitch Prime subs and sub gifts. Speaking of, let's take a look at that sub gift giveaway. We got 2 people in on this. We're going to close and give away to one of those 2. And the winner is Bearded, I think it says.
Bearded in Law.
Bearded in Law. Congratulations. We're going to bring you into the +1 posse right now. And we're going to do a couple of wheel spins. We got 2 to do. Hold on one sec. Let's get this. Here we go.
Good for you, Bearded in Law, you know?
Good for you.
Thanks.
Ding. There it is. Welcome to the +1 posse. Bearded in Law. I like the name. It's a good name.
Yeah, pretty good.
We like beards here.
Mm-hmm.
We do.
Who does?
We have a thing for beards. All right, so we got 2 spins to do. One for Soma Geek, who subbed with Twitch Prime to us earlier in the night, and then we're also going to spin for Bearded in Law, who we just gave that sub to. This one's for Soma Geek.
By the way.
Nice, good. I'm about to do a veggie gummy, so
oof,
you son of a bitch. And after that, we've got Bearded in Law. This one is for you. And the wheel says favorites. Hey, Bearded in Law, I'm going to add you as a friend here on Twitch, and the reason for that is so you can whisper me. Whisper me with a favorites category. This is a way for you guys to get to know us better, and you can choose whatever you want, man, as long as it's appropriate for stream. If you want to know my top 5, I don't know, cereals, whatever the hell you want.
Favorite sleeps.
Oh, and Hetman Santa himself decides Joey deserves that
okay,
that sub gift.
Top 3 favorite porn clips under 2 minutes long. Go.
Let's spin for Joey Grips. This one's for you, Joey. Welcome to the +1 posse. Oh, we're going to do a video game sketch, which means I'm going to add you as a friend as well, so you can whisper me with a video game title or a video game character. The reason for that is we're going to do Pictionary based on what you send to me, all right? So whisper me with a video game title or a video game character. And we'll do those a little later on in the night. Let's try and get further. I don't want to keep Dean up too late here.
Oh, you're good, man. I'm just chilling. I'm good.
You chilling like a villain?
Chilling.
Yeah, you're good. I have a very, very short work week, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Ah, yes, me too. 3 days. I'm
Danielle's
so
shift quit, so she had to.
Oh my,
that sucks.
Yep, mix everything around.
We also got 65
Tuesday
people
and a Wednesday this week. That's literally it.
I hate you.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty
Can
good.
we get to that big 7-0? Share the show, guys. Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, wherever you can. Let's see if we can get up into the 70s tonight. We're at 65 right now. Appreciate you all being here. Hope you're enjoying the show. We are going to move into the second part of the level update with probably the biggest gaming story of the week here. Yeah. PlayStation has ducked out of E3 2019. This is the first time that they are skipping an E3 in the 24 years that E3 has been around. Let's read a little bit here about what Kotaku has to say.
Womp.
Sony is skipping next year's E3, ditching its traditional booth and press conference in a move that will have a significant negative impact on the video game industry's annual trade show. The Entertainment Software Association, the lobbyist group that runs E3, confirmed the news today, as did Sony. Quote, as the industry evolves, Sony Interactive Entertainment continues to look for inventive opportunities to engage the community. This is from Sony here. Continuing on, PlayStation fans mean the world to us, and we always want to innovate, think differently, and experiment with new ways to delight gamers. As a result, result, we have decided to not participate in E3 2019. We are exploring new and familiar ways to engage our community in 2019 and can't wait to share our plans with you. Thank you so much for another sub there, gifted to Girl at Games. Thank you, Ant-Man. This is yet another blow to the annual Los Angeles trade show, which has seen multiple publishers drop out over the past few years. Electronic Arts now holds its own event in Hollywood in the days leading up to E3, while last year Microsoft rented out a theater LA Live a few minutes away from the convention center where E3 takes place. Nintendo has spent the past 5 years, how do you say that word, eschewing traditional press conference in favor of pre-recorded videos, and with Sony gone, one of the E3's other marquee press conferences will also not be present in 2019. First off, let me just say, EA, Nintendo, Microsoft, those are still at those are still at E3. I don't care if it's across the street or a few days earlier. We consider that to still be a part of E3.
Absolutely.
This is PlayStation completely ducking
you will not see
out.
anything Sony at E3 in any way, shape, or form.
They said they're not even doing an off-site events. There's nothing. There is no PlayStation presence at E3 2019. So first off, before we speculate on what this means, what's our immediate feelings about this and the future of E3? Dean, we'll go to you first.
Angry and disappointed.
I don't quite feel like that. I do have mixed feelings, though. You know.
Okay.
I think most of my negative feelings are just because out of selfishness. Like I always
agree, yeah.
I always really look forward to, they're like the big highlight, they're the closer. You know, they for the last few years have had the best conference. It's been always something to look forward to. It's a huge part of E3. So like for my enjoyment of E3, I'm like, well, that's kind of a bummer. In terms of like what this means in the grand scheme of things and what their plan might be, I think they're very smart. Whether they're cocky Sony or whatever you want to say, coming back, I don't know, maybe
arrogant Sony is back, Dean.
Yeah, like they're obviously feeling pretty good and changing their plans and maybe their business models according to their success, because they don't need to do certain things. That's just the fact of the matter. And guess what? Xbox can have a lot of goodwill for everything they're doing, and that's great. I commend them as well for everything they're doing. But when they were on top, they did a lot of things like in a similar fashion. They knew they were winning, and they didn't have to do certain things or put more effort in here or there and elsewhere. So I get it.
If I were to speculate, I don't think this has anything to do with effort, though. I think this has to do about focusing it elsewhere. They're focusing it elsewhere.
I think this is for sure. I think they are very smart people, as I began to say before I went on a tangent there. There's obviously some kind of a plan. You know what I mean? And I am not, you know, I'm not really too keen on like jumping to conclusions or like being all up in arms and upset before I hear about what they have planned in lieu of this, because there's no way they're just not going to promote any of their shit. Like they're obviously going to do something.
So I think there's two directions. There's probably more than two, but there's two directions that I think things could go based on this news. 2019 PS5 or 2020 PS5. The 2019 PS5, based on this news, is because they are, instead of doing E3, they're doing their own show close to E3, maybe a month or two earlier, and they don't want to have this huge blowout for PlayStation 5 and then 2 months later have the same exact things shown. Maybe they just want to have the spotlight entirely on them. They want to put their money into that. They don't want to put their money into another show 2 months later at E3. If that's the case, maybe we're getting PS5 in 2019 because they're going to reveal it in March or April or something like that. The other path is that they just don't have anything. PS5 is not coming this year. PS5 is 2020, and they don't want to show the same things they showed last year. I would be okay with it, but clearly a lot of people aren't, because everybody complained about PS4's conference last year because they only showed the 4 games. 3 of them we already knew were coming. So maybe they're listening to that feedback and saying, okay, you guys don't want us to show the same things. We'll put our focus elsewhere. We'll skip E3, and then in 2020 we'll blow your minds with PS5.
I do think there's something to that. I think the silence is golden, personally. I think that if they are going to just show up and show the same games, then there's not really much point. And think about what a reception they'll get after not having PS X and then skipping E3, and then whenever they finally show up again at a conference somewhere. And meanwhile, like they're still going to be working. There's still content coming. They're going to be promoting their games and stuff. There's going to be PS Blog and everything.
Yeah.
But think about that, dude. After all this absence, when they finally come back out with a conference that's jam-packed, we have a fucking new console, we have all these games ready to go, like, that's going to kill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You
You
know?
guys voted and said you are much less excited for E3. PlayStation was always the most exciting for me. I agree. PlayStation was always the most excited for me. But at the same time, I am kind of excited at the idea that they're skipping E3 because they have a dedicated PS5 reveal show next year. That excites me greatly. I hope that's the case. I'm okay 2019 or 2020. I don't care really. But I would be really excited to see, you know, a PlayStation 5 reveal show sometime next year, either before E3 or maybe, do you think there's a possibility that they're going to use PSX 2019 as their PS5 reveal show?
Yeah. I do.
Do you think so? Do you think there will be a PlayStation experience next year?
I do.
What about you, Mike?
I honestly don't know. I mean, their reason for skipping this year. I mean, what I wanted to say before was that I think what annoys me is that the reason that they're skipping this year, I think, and if for nothing else, is the same people that bitched about them at PSX and for E3. Like, if you are people that complained about their PSX showing, their conference there, and their E3 showing from last year, you have no right to be annoyed about this whatsoever, because you are the person that made this happen. They most likely would have had something for PSX this past year if you weren't so negative and annoying about it. And even E3 might have been a questionable thing. I think what bothers me, though, about E3 is that they're not going to be there at all. Like, why not have a thing on the floor? I think what bothers me about this is that
probably.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's money. At the same time,
But
there's
can
an
I ask
investment
you
that
a
you can
question?
make in what's that?
And as I'm not like trying to like jab, it's a sincere question. As someone who is not going to be at E3, why does it bother you that they're not going to have something on the floor?
So that's like and that's more of like a selfless thing, because I don't care for myself as much as I care for other people that like going to these events. If E3 was somewhat close or even attainable for us, I mean, look, Drew and I, like, you even were included in that, where we said if we could raise so much money, we would go to E3. You know, like, that was a Patreon.
Yeah, but let
That
me
was
ask you
always a
this then,
dream for
Mike.
us.
Let's say they are doing a PlayStation dedicated show, and it's easier to get into because E3 is not easy to get into for a lot of people, and they're going to have all these games on the floor there, and it's a month or two before, like, and they put all their money into that instead. Like, would that be reasonable?
I mean, somewhat, but here's my thing at the same time then. I can't, like, there's benefits to E3 as much as there is negatives to it. I don't think it's the end all be all. I don't think it's amazing, but I think it's a thing that people like because they get all their stuff. I mean, I know, Drew, you are very, you know, universal to PlayStation over most of the other ones. Dean is mostly at this point, although he has alliances to others, but to me, I'm pretty universal to all of it. I want to see Microsoft succeed just as well as I want to see Sony succeed and Nintendo succeed and all that. And E3 is the type of place where I can see everybody put their stuff up and I can enjoy all of them at the same time. Whereas that, okay, now I have to, let's say that I was in an area where I could go to these events. E3, you know, let's say for what the 3 days is like, you know, $180, you know, whereas now I have to pay $60 for Sony's. Maybe 60 or 70 for Microsoft, 60 or 70 for if Nintendo does one, but I wouldn't be able to because Nintendo all does their stuff, you know, in video. You know, if everybody does a separate thing, that's just going to make it worse and harder for us to see these games, you know, and get them, you know, in hands in ways that we were able to get them at E3. So it's, I mean, I get the industry's changing and things change. It's just not as conventional, you know, no pun intended, as it has been in the past. I don't know. I think to me it just rubs me the wrong way because it's one of those things where it will never be like E3 will never be the same. Like, I'm just as disappointed now as I was back in 2005, 2006 was it, when they decided to stop doing it.
Where they changed it tremendously, yeah.
Right, and it wasn't as good, and I was disappointed then. This is in my opinion is even worse. This is, you know, one of my biggest, you know, companies that I love, you know, is saying, you know what, I don't want to do it anymore. It's never going to be the same if they keep on
No, yeah, E3 definitely won't be the same. But at the same time, if this means that each one is going to have like their own dedicated shows throughout the year, and we get like Nintendo Direct style things more often and more surprises more often, it might be a cool trade-off in some ways to not have to get together for 12 hours straight and do E3 and have it actually be spread out throughout the year. Might be kind of neat. Bearded and Law, respect the opinion. I personally can't agree. I'm somebody that I don't really care if the hardware is 10% better on Xbox One X. I care about the games myself. So
also, hardware is useless if you don't have anything to fucking put on it.
That's what my intention there is. Not that there's nothing to play on Xbox, but you can play it elsewhere. And that's Xbox's own choice, Microsoft's own choice by putting everything on PC. So I'm just not really too concerned with what Xbox is doing, because anything they do put out, I personally will get on PC.
Also, to be clear, I hope everyone succeeds too.
Yeah, without a doubt.
PlayStation is just where I've already invested the most, and that's my ecosystem. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
not like I wouldn't consider myself like a fanboy or anything like that, but it's just where my preferred place to play.
I like the studios that they're picking up with Xbox, you know, Obsidian and Ninja Theory and such, but it's still those studios that they're picking up pale in comparison to my love for, you know, whether it be a Media Molecule coming out with Dreams, or of course Naughty Dog, or Sucker Punch, or Guerrilla Games,
so hopefully they just cultivate that talent in the same way Sony
did. You're 100% right. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what they do with those guys.
I would like it. I would like it, like some direct style stuff from PlayStation.
I would too. Yeah, I absolutely want that, but I think, like I said, I think to me it's just the idea of having it all on the convention floor, to where you can go and play the newest Smash Brothers. You can get a taste of, you know, Last of Us 2.
Yeah, but you know what? We're not really thinking about. You're thinking about these people buying tickets that are coming there, but think about it if you're a business and.
Oh, I know.
How worth it? They're probably looking at this like, how worth it is it really? If the people that we really needed to get their hands on this game have already got their hands on the games that we have right now, we're going to spend all this money getting everything out there, setting everything up, promoting it all. Like, it's probably cost a ton of money to get your shit at
And let's not forget the last two E3s for PlayStation. It was literally just a trailer showcase. They're throwing a conference, they're having an audience to literally have Sean Layden come out for 5 minutes and then show trailers. Last year, they probably spent how much money putting together a church setting and then taking 30 minutes to traverse them to another environment to show more trailers. Like, they're putting a shit ton of money into this for what? You know,
no, and don't get me wrong, it's definitely like, I 100% understand the business aspect. I think, to me, like I said, I was disappointed for us as fans, for us as the viewers of it. You know, I mean, we put together E3. E3 is a couple days of celebration. You know, so it's kind of like a big thing for us. Plus, I do miss. I mean, don't get me wrong, there were certain things that were boring as shit about the press conferences before, but you're right, they've changed dramatically in the past couple of years. But Microsoft's the only one that still somewhat does it the same as they did years ago.
Ubisoft is pretty much the same, if you count them.
Even Ubisoft has changed, because they don't talk about their investors as much as Microsoft does.
Yeah,
Microsoft
that's
talks
true.
about like technologies and forwarding, like how much time was spent on Games Pass and their adaptive controller.
Without a doubt, Microsoft still has the most conference-y conference of them all. The other ones have moved away from that in a big way. I mean, it's rare even that we see live gameplay anymore. We're just seeing trailer after trailer from the other guys. Like,
I kind of think this is potential to be better. Like, I'm disappointed.
It does have potential to be better.
Same reason, like, I like having everything at E3 just like this awesome few days of just like nonstop stuff. But there's so much going on around that time. Like, we're still gonna get that, at least for now. But so now we can also potentially get stuff like scattered throughout the year. Now we could have like E3, then we'll have the Game Award, or then we'll have like potentially like Nintendo's scattered throughout. Then maybe potentially in the winter we'll have PlayStation's thing, and then we'll have the Game Awards.
Right.
Well, yeah, I mean, when Nintendo ducked out 5 years ago, everybody flipped out. People flipped out at that. But look at what they're doing now. The directs are cool, and they have a presence at E3 in the Treehouse. And that's the thing. Sony might come back to E3 next year. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. This is them taking a year off. It doesn't mean they don't come back. Maybe they go to direct style stuff, and then they have a presence at E3 in a treehouse type way where people can play games on the show floor and whatnot. They're just skipping this E3. That's all we know. And they might have a very good reason for it. They might be putting a shit ton of money into a really cool spectacle blowout for PS5. And they might be like, if we're doing this in April, why would we then spend all this money a month or two later to do the same thing at E3? Like, they're gonna approach it from a business standpoint, and they're
Don't get me wrong, I think
put the money where it should be.
This is not like the the end of the world, and I think there's still going to be some good that comes from the things we've heard from rumblings of, from people that know what Sony has, in their back pocket, that you're not going to be as disappointed with them, once you find out why they're making these choices and with other things they have planned. So, I'm just, like I said, I'm disappointed for, my own, few reasons, but I'm also excited to see what they have planned. I'm just hoping I'm not going to get disappointed.
Yeah, I get it, man. Totally get it. It's
Gravy
definitely,
Biscuits,
it's definitely an alarming thing.
Yeah, Gravy Biscuits, I think you're going to be surprised because the PS5 is absolutely coming by 2020. If not 2019.
It's definitely not going to be 2021.
Yeah, it's almost like a industry poorly kept secret at this point.
I would say 90% certain that it's not later than 2020, the PS5 releases. And
absolutely.
all of the, like Kotaku
like
with their story on PlayStation skipping E3, they talked with various developers and they said, based on their chats with developers, that 2020 is what they're thinking. I still think there's potential for 2019, but I'm leaning more towards 2020
now that they've come out and said that, I think 2020 will make more sense.
Yeah.
2020 is perfect in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
The sooner the better for me, honestly. I'm ready to move on, but yeah, I can wait too. I'm okay waiting. The thing that I'm honestly excited about, then you guys can laugh at me, but I'm excited that this probably means like 7 Remake is coming to PS5. Because at this point, yeah, just give it to me on PS5, man. I want to see that game look
honestly,
freaking
dude, I think
unbelievable.
It will be, for
yeah,
sure.
that's gonna be a PS5 game, and I'm happy about it. Yeah, dude, give me the best possible graphics for the remake that is gonna happen. Like
I heard
just wanna see it be
somebody
awesome.
on one of these podcasts, somebody wrote in and was like, "Don't you think E3 will be so like burnt that they won't let them back?" And I was like, "Oh my god, they'll welcome them back with open arms."
Like, thank God, we missed you. We need you.
Yeah.
One thing I will say is everybody's thinking this is like an amazing thing for Microsoft. This is a double-edged sword, in my opinion, for Microsoft.
Agreed.
They've got a lot to prove now. They are literally the only console that has the conferencey presence at,
well, here's the thing.
E3.
If they fuck up now, there is no follow-up to make it be like, well,
It's
E3 was
all
so
on them.
cool. It was like, man, we missed PlayStation because E3 fucking sucked this year. You know?
And if they suck, it's no like, oh, they sucked in comparison to Sony. No, it's just that they sucked.
Exactly.
And here's the thing.
Not that I think it will, but it can happen.
Here's the thing, though. They are in the same exact situation. They're gearing up for next gen. They don't have things to show. They got all these studios they just acquired working on all this shit. What are they going to show? They got nothing to show. So they're just going to show third-party stuff and pretty much just be an advertisement for things also coming to PlayStation. Probably. Yeah. This would be my. This is my speculation. And if that's the case, okay, like what? Like that's not good for them, in my opinion. That's not going to be like something where it's like, oh, I'm buying an Xbox because PlayStation wasn't here. If they just show things that are also coming to PlayStation,
I agree.
I think if anything, they need to be careful about this.
I think honestly, I don't think it's really that revelatory of a thing. I think this is as simple as like Sony understands like this is over, this generation, and I think they're just running out the clock. They're just taking a knee, and they're just running out the clock. And I'll be like, we don't need to. We did it. You know, we'll see you next year.
Right.
Crackdown will be out already, Doom Turkey. Gears, what's happening with Gears? When is that coming?
I don't care.
Gears and Halo, I think, is the only things they could show, right? They haven't shown Halo gameplay yet, so we'll see Halo gameplay, and we'll probably see, like, final trailers for Gears. And that's it. They're probably not going to release anything else for Xbox One.
I mean, yeah, there's no way like maybe one of these studios has like an early like cinematic trailer to show, but like there's no way they all have something.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Halo is next generation, honestly. I think there's a possibility that's at least cross-generational. At least a possibility that's cross-generational.
Judging by how far along it was when the reveal that like they just revealed the engine they were using pretty much.
Yeah, so it's hard to say. That might not be this generation. But moving on, Mike, what's up with the next story?
Speaking of Microsoft, there will be a diskless Xbox One in 2019. Eurogamer writes, according to new reports, Microsoft is preparing to launch a diskless version of its Xbox One console, and it may arrive as soon as spring of 2019. The news comes from a reliable tech site, Thurrott, which cites sources familiar with Microsoft's plans. The diskless Xbox One system will be part of the company's existing current-gen hardware line and is not to be confused with its next-gen successor, codenamed Scarlet. Microsoft's next-gen Xbox is expected in 2020, and the diskless Xbox One will reportedly launch next spring. This is the hardest paragraph or story I've ever had to read in my entire life. Between not wanting to, like, between all the X and S's, and then not wanting to say dick all the time, like, it is just with the intention being to differ to offer a variant of the current console that can be sold at a price substantially lower than it is now. According to Thurrott, sources claim that the diskless Xbox One could be as much as $100 cheaper than the current model, pushing it to sub $200 US. For those potential buyers of the existing Xbox media, Microsoft is said to be considering a disc-to-digital program, which will enable purchasers to trade their physical games in return for a digital download at participating retailers.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
I do like that.
I wish you could do that with everything.
And they haven't decided that Scarlett's going to contain a disk drive. You know what? Oh, did I say dickless?
You probably did a few times.
Maybe. Dude, that was such a hard fucking...
Real quick, sorry.
Can
I just give a shout out here real quick? Iron Maiden,
Yeah.
I don't know if you're still in the room, but thank you so much for the host, and thank you for popping in. Appreciate you being here tonight. Appreciate you. T Black, thank you for the follow. Revs Media, thank you for the follow. First Class, and I believe those are our most recent follows. Appreciate you guys. Keep them coming. Hit that heart button here. So it's been 5 years, right, since Xbox One and the debacle of it being digital only, online only. This, in essence, is that, because we're now at the point where we're getting a diskless Xbox next year. Are we ready? 5 years later, are we ready for this?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is perfect.
So, yeah.
I think it's almost like if they handle it right. You gotta remember too, everybody's really like keen on using these. You know, they were prevalent before, but not nearly as they are now. But things like the Amazon Fire TV, the Apple TV, you know, Roku was the innovator kind of almost in its own way, but that's failed in comparison to the other two. And you have the ability to get, maybe imagine so at work right now, they just replaced all of our computers. We had these ancient tower PCs that you would have in school, and now we just have the little server boxes, and they're basically the size of a modem. And imagine if that's what Xbox's new console is. It's just a very thin, very small, piece of hardware that just connects to the internet, and that's it.
It's dickless, yeah.
I bet you it looks just like the fucking Xbox One S. I bet you anything right here.
Very thin, very smooth.
I think it'll look like imagine an Xbox One. I think that's what I'm thinking right now. If they
Which one?
No, I'm not. There's no real one. Like, imagine how they've done like the SNES and the NES Classic. Imagine like an Xbox One Classic. That's what I'm thinking of for that.
Yeah,
they wanted
it
to
could be small.
Possible.
It could be, but it
That's what I'm
won't be
thinking.
because the most Xbox things for them to do is just have it come out and be look
big
just like the fucking
monstrous.
Xbox One S.
It's just a big, just hollow shell. You can store stuff in it. They give you storage.
I think people are ready for this as an that's where they went wrong in the beginning. It wasn't an option. That was like, we're doing this, and it was too much too soon. Nobody was like into this generation. We didn't know like how this was all gonna play out yet. Digital downloads like really just became super strong last generation. So everybody was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
This, if they came out of the gate, was like, we're gonna have an option. All right, it's an option, but that wasn't the case. You know what I mean?
Well, the chat voted, and they think even next generation is not ready for diskless only. They think.
I think that'll be the same. I think.
I don't
think
an option. I think it's an option. I think it's good. I mean, you guys gotta remember too. Don't you remember like right after E3, late June, early July, we heard the rumors of 2 console versions for Xbox's new set of systems. We were talking about it at that time, and one of them was going to be diskless, and the other one was going to be standard, and we thought that was going to be the new console. This fits right into that rumor, and I think it's the smartest thing that they can do. I think, especially with where they're going with, games and with the inevitable streaming future, I think this just
we're about to talk about it in a moment. Well, yeah, it's at least good to test the waters, which it feels like they're maybe doing here. But Dean, speaking of streaming being the future, read this story.
Nintendo thinks the U.S. is not ready for game streaming. In Japan, Switch owners with a strong internet. I'm sorry, this is from Kotaku. In Japan, Switch owners with a strong internet connection can download an app and play a streaming version of Capcom's Resident Evil 7 and Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Odyssey, 2 games that are probably too graphically intensive to run directly on the Switch, that are only available in America on the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Reja Fizame described those efforts in Japan as very exciting, added that essentially a cloud-based gaming service on the Switch is something that everyone is very excited to see. But he noted it's specific to Japan because of the internet infrastructure that exists in that country. Very high-speed wireless capability. The ability to have a great experience in Japan is profound. The technical infrastructure doesn't exist for that to happen currently here in the United States. I noted that there are game streaming services that serve American games, but he clarified that the connections weren't to Nintendo's satisfaction. And I just have to interject here. And let's all keep in mind, this is to Nintendo's satisfaction. All right? Their games are not that intense. Like, they're not like powerhouses.
All right.
I know that there are game streaming services not to... Okay, we read that. And so on. From that standpoint, we're looking at that activity as a very interesting test case and certainly is going to drive our thinking and our potential investments here in the Americas. Fizame said he is familiar with Google's Project Stream, which streams the aforementioned Assassin's Creed Odyssey through players' Chrome web browsers, but cautioned that if you talk to really active gamers, there's a level of dissatisfaction because of lag and other things that happen currently. The question is, at what point will there be the technical infrastructure for that to be a truly compelling experience?
Can I just
Here's the thing.
comment?
Option.
You've said enough.
Option.
No. I've said enough to you. I haven't said enough in general. Plus, I want to change. I want to.
No changing.
No, not really changing.
It's in stone.
All right. Nobody else knows what's going on right now. So let me clarify. First off, we're talking about Nintendo, the company that can't even get friending your friends online correct. And they're going to tell me that there's an issue. No. They're going to complain about an issue with it. No, listen, once you start talking about technology over the internet and you're Nintendo, I stop listening because your opinion means jack shit to me.
Then you're foolish because they have a long time being leading in. Who else is doing anything different right now? Nintendo are the only ones that are actually trying to innovate and do anything different in this industry.
Well, I'm talking about, listen, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that they're not innovative. I'm saying when it comes to internet, when it comes to playing with people.
That's my point, dude. If they, the weakest of the online services, think that this is not strong enough, that is a huge red flag.
Here's my other thing though too. If you talk to really active gamers, there's a level of dissatisfaction because of a lag and other things currently happening. I have not heard of that, and I promise I looked deep into this before our argument and after our argument.
Not deep enough because I've heard like a whole bunch of the people who tried.
Yeah, there's plenty of dissatisfaction for anybody that doesn't have a good connection.
There's some lag, but again, they had to.
That's so weird how that just changed so fast.
A minimum. Well, that's the thing. As long as they had a minimum of 25 megabits per second, there is some change. I did not realize how lucky like the three of us really are. Like, especially in that, like, even just the other day, because I was talking to, like, there's people in the chat that we were talking to, Far Center's one of them, like, they're completely happy with, like, 30 megs. They're like, oh my God, I have good internet speed today. Yeah. Now, I know that was prevalent. I didn't know how prevalent, but that's fucking disgusting.
You didn't know how prevalent? Dude, are you serious right now with this? You don't know how prevalent that is? Like, we're even just talking about the United States here, but, like, even in the United States, yes, go into, like, the Midwest, like, no, it's not good. It's not good at all.
And that's fine. No, I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was that bad. That said,
here's how bad it is. Not even Midwest, okay? Jen's got family who lives in upstate Pennsylvania. And when you go there, you get nothing. Not a thing.
Nothing!
You get like 15 megs. I try to watch a trailer there, and it takes me an hour and 30 minutes. Like,
that's ridiculous.
You get nothing, dude.
We're so spoiled. We
pay for it.
Right, we do, but still, we're spoiled by the capabilities.
Like I was talking to Far Sender, and he pays like just under $100 for 30 megs. Yeah, and that's
I sat at a computer screen as a kid and waited for hours for fake naked pictures of Britney Spears to load on my screen.
Line by line.
You know?
Those were the days, man. That's when you really appreciated things.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Except when it finally loaded and you're like,
you son of a bitch.
It wasn't even Britney Spears.
It was her from the neck up.
Oh man!
So suddenly there's a dong hanging there.
That said, I know that there are people that are very that were disappointed with it, but at the same time, Google had come out and said you have to have minimum of 25 megs. No one ever said. There were a few people that I saw that said, "Hey, I had 80 something, 100 something, and I had some input lag." But they even went to clarify, while it was noticeable, I don't think in the grand scheme of things, it was all that negative. They were even saying it wasn't that bad. So I'm not understanding Nintendo's point on this in general if they're giving it as an option. I think for them to say that this is the only way to do it, absolutely. I 100% agree with you. I do not think
Here's why. Because of what we just talked about. The small fraction of people who have this good of internet, and think about the mass market that the consoles are being developed for and going out to. They're not going to develop a console for 1/10 of even just
not dedicated, no.
No, it's just not going to happen.
But I think it was smart for PlayStation and Xbox to dip their toes in the water. I think that
100%,
PlayStation Now for us,
you've
tried PlayStation Now. We tried it because we
Mm-hmm.
used it during the trophy war, right? Yeah. It worked really well for me.
Yeah.
It worked really well for you because we have the internet infrastructure here.
Exactly.
So it's good that they started that process. It's just, the entirety of the United States is not ready. He's right.
Yeah, and they're not gonna be like, this is our console, even as an option, because think of how expensive it is to R&D that and to mass produce it. Like you gotta know that at least a good chunk of the country is gonna buy this thing to make it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And so I win.
You win.
No.
Winner.
Yeah, I'm a winner.
Moving on.
Nope.
We're going to do one wheel spin just to finish off and get the full list of what we got to do tonight. This one is for Girl That Games, gifted a sub by Hempman. Marbles for funsies. Dean, have you ever played Marbles?
I have not.
Marbles.
Get ready, man. Get ready for this
All
shit.
right.
It's
so
fun.
entertaining.
All right. Keep an eye on the stream because we're about to do Marbles for funsies, everybody. All right, let's get it loaded up. So if anybody doesn't know what Marbles is, for funsies, it means nothing. It means we're not giving anything away to anybody, but we're just going to do it for
I'll give
funsies.
something away.
Mike will give something away.
I have a PC game to give away.
You do.
I
He
do.
looks like he's got something
shit
up
ton.
his sleeve.
Let me go to full game here. I think that's where I have.
Hey, by the way,
I just have a shit ton of games on Humble that I'll never play.
speaking of PC, if anyone has not played Sunset Overdrive, and that shit just came out for PC, you should
did, yeah.
for sure play
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It's super good.
Well, we're playing on the Gauntlet tonight, guys. So if you are in the chat right now and you would like to be a part of Marbles for Funsies, type in !play in the
What
chat
fuck
right
is
now.
this?
Just get in on it, Dean. Trust me. Just trust me.
I
Just
don't
gotta trust me.
understand.
You will. You will understand.
What do I
We'll
do to get in on it?
You just type in !play. That's it. In the
Oh,
chat.
all right. Okay.
Miss Mel just came out of the woodworks right now, man.
I
She hasn't
love
been
it.
here all night, and she comes in right when Marbles for Funsies comes out. Everybody loves Marbles for Funsies. All right, let me get everything set up on my end here real quick.
My keyboard is fucked.
Oh my.
Yeah, I need a new one.
Marbles
It's
is
something that like
everything.
blocks the signal through the wire. It's a wireless keyboard, and like something way I have it set up in here, it gets blocked unless I move it a certain way. Dumb as shit.
Mate, I'm high as fuck, she says.
Wow.
Just out of nowhere. Well, this is the perfect game for that then. That's
Didn't
what I
see that
think.
coming, I'm not gonna lie.
All right. What the hell? Voice meter? Come on, man. Guys, I have another 30 seconds here while I get set up on my end for Marbles for Funsies. Mike, you're playing? This is not okay.
Why? I just want to play for fun.
It's for funsies.
It's for
You
funsies.
just said it
This
for
is true.
funsies.
This is true.
Besides, they'll just give whenever it is to somebody.
You actually win a thing?
Yeah.
Well, in this case, what are you giving away, Mike?
I'm looking at through my games to see what people would want that I'm going to give away.
George
There's a lot of
Thorogood's
crap in here.
first album.
What was that?
Give it away.
It looks like I don't think I'm gonna be able to get the voice modulation up in time.
Oh no!
It has an update. I'm
what,
trying to
what
install
song
it right
are we
now.
using today?
That's a good question. Mel is usually the one that gives us a good song to use. Mel, what song should we use for Marbles for Funsies this evening?
Oh, by the way, so I used Benny Hill the other day. Did you see my stream on Tuesday?
No,
Our,
I didn't.
Call
Well,
of Duty
not that
mode?
part of it, at least. No.
We Dean, we created a mode in in Call of Duty called Hammer Bros, where you just take off all equipment, no guns, no nothing except for the tactical knife, and then you put the equipment to instant charge and instant retrieval on death, and only combat axes. So it's just people running around throwing axes at each other and trying to stab each other.
That sounds like hell.
It was the most entertaining thing I've done in that game in a while. I think I haven't laughed that hard at that game. And
oh no, she's too high, Mike. She's too high. She doesn't know. All right, I'm putting on the same one we did. We're doing Boom Shakalaka again then.
Boom Shakalaka. I like Benny Hill. I think that works better.
That's good too, but we're doing something different.
Should we call someone to help Mel? What is happening?
What,
you know what? I'm gonna give.
Who the hell was that artist again? Boom Shaka.
Whoever, if you have a PC, whoever wins, I'm gonna give Prof Go or Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
Who the hell did Boom Shakalaka? Damn it. I forget. Mel, who did?
O Fortuna, make it dramatic.
Okay, that's fine with me too. That's good. O Fortuna, okay. O Fortuna. Hopefully that's on spot.
What map is this, by the way?
All right, this is fine. All right, this is called
Gauntlet.
This is called Gauntlet. Yeah. All right, guys, get ready. It's time. 10, 9. I'm gonna start the music now. Let's get this epic going.
I'm gonna turn on the audio for that because I want to hear it.
And we're off! Alright, we're going down into the sphincter of Gumby here, Michael.
Sphincter of Gumby.
The sphincter of Gumby. We're gonna circle this drain for quite a while, right? That's the way things work here. We have to turn down music, it's real loud.
Oh, you did get the voice modulation to work.
This just takes forever. It's the longest thing ever, just going down the sphincter.
Listen, you gotta get everything wet and good to go.
It's so smooth, Michael. It's just the smoothest drain ever. Who's in first? I don't even know. Nobody's in first right now. Somebody's about to make it through. Somebody's through. Who's through? We got that guy. That guy out of the lead. Gravy Biscuits takes ahead. He's through the paddle. Which way is he gonna go? He goes right. Oh, down the middle. Right down the middle. Can he hold on to the lead? We got Baz023 right behind that. We're going around the loop now. This is a long track here, guys. We got a lot of time left for somebody to catch up. Gravy Biscuits might go off track. Hepman takes a different
path. Oh no, I
died.
That sucks.
Oh my, Hepman out in front. Santa himself about to go around the twirl.
Your music died, by the way.
Ahead, some loopy loops. Oh, never mind. It's a cylinder, Mike. We got the cylinder of death. Oh my, Gravy Biscuits go through. He's going through the bumpy bumps. He's going through the cylinder right now. He makes it through, but Baz takes the lead. He's going down the swirls now. He's swirling. Oh, Hepman just fell. I don't even know how he made it down. What just happened? Did he go off and then fall back in? But he hits the boost. The lone gunman. Dustin out in front. Can he find the hole? He's looking for the hole, guys. He doesn't have it. Who's going to have the hole first? Who's in the lead? I don't know. Baz? No. Hepman, he falls. He's down in the paddle now. It's swirling. Oh, but Dustin falls out in front. There's just a little bit left. He might have it, guys. There's not too much left. Not too many obstacles to go. We're going down the swirls now.
So you guys just watch these marbles go through this thing, huh?
Yes. That's exactly what you do, Dean. That's exactly what you do.
All right.
I'm not surprised that he doesn't like it.
It's fine. It's fine. I don't dislike it, but I definitely don't like it either.
We're going through the bumps. Oh! He was dodging them all, but not all of them. Dustin's still in the lead. Can he hold on? There's just a little bit left. Gravy Biscuits is behind him. He's trying to catch up, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think this is it. Dustin, if he doesn't hit any obstacles, he is going to win. Gravy Biscuits is just too far behind, and Dustin is dodging all of the bumpy bumps. He's about to hit this last boost as long as he doesn't fall off track. Oh no! Okay, he's okay. Dustin is still okay, and Dustin is going to win! Dustin with the win! First place to Dustin, followed by Gravy Biscuits, and in third place,
how did you know he wasn't going to miss that ramp there?
Oh my, Hitman just fell to his death at the very end. He's not going to place. Never mind, scot-free, placing in third place. Dustin DeLone Gunman, take your ticket to the front counter and redeem your prize.
All right, DeLone Gunman, I don't know if you have a PC. If you do, you can get your choice of game. And if not, Gravy Biscuits, and then scot-free in that order.
That was pretty crazy, guys.
That is marbles for funsies.
Pretty crazy.
So every now and then we do giveaways that way now.
While you were doing that, I got myself a 128 gigabyte memory card for my Switch for $20.
Why?
Go, man.
Because I needed a bigger memory card.
Wait,
Did you
how
say
big do I
megabyte or
have?
gigabyte?
I think
Yeah,
you know what, that's actually how big I have.
128 gigs for $20, dude. It was on sale, half price.
128. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal, dude.
My current one's small as shit. It's like 16, I think.
Oof.
Dustin, your marble game's on point. Way to go. All right, moving on. Did we spin for Girl That Games? I think we did, right? What was it, though? Oh, it was marbles for funsies, obviously. All right, that is. We're all caught up. Let's get into... We're almost done the show, guys. Let's get into those smaller stories that we like to go through every week and what we here call...
Mini bitty titties.
The Rapid Fire News Roundup! Ha! Oh my god. First up, Beyond Good and Evil 2. We're finally going to get some gameplay footage for the game in December. Of course, we've had some like very early alpha footage, not of gameplay, and we've had these cool CGI trailers, but nothing gameplay so far. Is this game on your guys' radar at all?
No.
Wow. I have to say no for me
Not
too.
really.
Next.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It's I've heard really great things about the first one, but this one not
people
yet
are
on my
super
radar.
into it.
Yeah. Moving on from that, Devil May Cry is getting an animated series. Adi
Sure, we
Shankar.
can't be excited for this. We shouldn't even talk about it right now.
I
We're
am
fake fans. I
excited
know
for
we're
it.
fake fans. But Adi Shankar, the guy behind the Castlevania series, has announced this, and he actually said they're in the same universe, and there's going to be some crossover. I think this is really cool. I don't care if I'm a fake fan. I'm going to check this out.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I think this sounds really awesome.
And I will check out Castlevania Season 2 as well. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Me
just yet.
too. I'm going to watch it this week for sure.
Have you watched any of it yet, Dean?
Season 1, not season 2.
Okay. I wanted to give a shout out to Rick GFN21, of course, a part of our blog community. He has written his review for Castlevania Season 2, and it will go up on our website, on our blog tomorrow, so keep an eye out for Rick's review of Castlevania Season 2. I'm not sure if that's going to be spoiler-free or spoiler-filled. I'm sure he'll
Rick
let you guys
writes
know.
good reviews, guys.
He
You should
does.
go and read all of his other reviews as well.
All of his reviews are on our blog, guys, levelupnetwork.com/blog.
Usually the right amount of words.
Yes, he does use the perfect amount of words. Moving on. Cliff Bleszinski seemingly retiring from game developments. So he was tweeting back and forth with some guy. Some guy tweeted him talking about how he's disappointed in Lawbreakers, I don't know, like continued support or whatever like that. Cliff Bleszinski responded by saying that he has been supporting his employees even after closure with, I'm drawing a blank on exactly what the tweet said, but pretty much saying that even months after he's been supporting his employees, and that's why he hasn't.
The original guy was mad because Cliff wasn't offering to refund the people who bought Lawbreakers.
That's
which was absolutely asinine, because if you're buying this, like, I don't know, I don't understand this at all. You must be.
He said, I understand you being upset, but this is exactly, he said something along the lines of like, this is exactly why I don't want to make games anymore.
Absolutely.
And then somebody asked him to clarify, and he said that he's out. I think was the direct quote, I'm out. So I don't believe him one little bit. He's a liar.
No, me neither, because he said something like this before.
Yeah, he's throwing a fit.
Actually, you know what? Right before Lawbreakers, he said it would never be, he would never do anything for consoles again.
I wish he would be out. I'll tell you what. I think he's a baby, and I don't really like the guy that much.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
beyond what he's done with other people, and he obviously he was a strong mind behind some of those properties like Gears, but on his own, he hasn't been
he hasn't
stellar.
done all that great.
Not saying he should exit game development, but yeah, I mean, you don't really have a lot to show for yourself following those couple games. I'd like to see him bounce back, but at the same time, I don't not enjoy seeing him humbled. So, yeah, but don't lie to us. You're gonna be back. Stop throwing.
I mean,
a
he's
hissy
probably
fit.
speaking out of frustration. I get that.
Yeah, so exactly what he's doing. He's speaking out of frustration. But
I say, go ahead and quit, you quitter, you little fucking baby.
I'll let Gene say it. All right, moving on. I think this is freaking awesome. Command and Conquer is getting a remaster.
Wow.
Wow. Red
Johnny should
Alert.
ask him if he can get a free copy.
Let me skip this, Lawbreakers. Here we go. Command and Conquer Red Alert on screen right now. This is nostalgia fuel for me, man. Oh my god, I spent so much time playing Red Alert 1. I'm curious to see like what a remaster means for them. Are they completely rebuilding the game? Like, what does that mean? But I will get this. I will 100% get this if it's a decent price. I freaking love this game back in the day. Just for the nostalgia alone, I will try this freaking thing out.
Buying Age of Empires for $20 and only playing it a handful of times was absolutely worth it for me. So I agree with you. You're going to be happy that you buy this.
How much did you spend on Age of Empires?
I think it was 20, maybe it was 10. I can't remember.
Yeah, if they price it right, I'm there, man. I had very fond memories of those days with Red Alert. Tiberian Sun, not as much. Red Alert was my shit. All right, and that is the rapid fire news roundup. We're moving, guys. We got one more segment here. It's a community focus segment. What's it called, Mike?
Usapats.
Yeah. You are the worst. On the spot, guys, every week you can get on our Discord at discord.gg/the-level-up-network. We have a hashtag on the spot channel where you can submit a hard-hitting question for us to answer live on the Level Up show, like this person did right here.
Gotta hit it hard. Don't fucking
hit it hard.
send it. It doesn't.
Dear the Level Up show, why do you guys feel that game developers are taking bold leaps? Fallout 76, Diablo Phone Edition, now. Do you feel this projects something on the gaming horizon, or just a whim they're banking on? This came courtesy of Apu Snacks.
Wow.
So I think there's a multitude of reasons for this. One, money. Two, I think that the landscape of development is also changing. I think you're seeing new hires coming into these studios, and these new hires were brought up on mobile games, and they actually like mobile games, and they want to develop mobile games, and I honestly think that's part of it. I don't think it's simply the hire up saying this is where the money is. I think you are actually seeing developers come into these studios, born and growing up in this culture, and that's what they know, and maybe even that's what they love, so they're bringing that to the table.
I don't think it's as much that yet. I know you made that last week. I think that will be the case. I think in terms of Diablo, what?
I was laughing at Mel.
Yeah, me too.
I think in terms of Diablo, that was 100% a deal they were kind of made to make. I think they didn't really have too much of an option.
It's not a lie. There's a lot of money to be made.
Oh, don't get me wrong, there absolutely is. But that game is absolutely going to appeal more towards the overseas markets, the Chinese market. And we talked about that again last week. Fallout 76. I think the thing is that you have to remember the industry is 100% changing. And this is going to sound weird, especially as someone who fought against it, but it's not that story-driven, single-player only games are dead, but there definitely is a much bigger appeal now than there ever was before for these always live and easily accessible games. So things like Fallout 76, Destiny, Anthem, these are the things that these are the games that people are talking about just as much as they would talk about Gears of War and Halo, or not even Halo as much, but like Gears of War and The Last of Us or Uncharted, years ago. And I think they need to do it to stay relevant. I think they need to do it to not only stay relevant, but to give people kind of something that they wanted. And some of these things lend well to it. Fallout 76, ideally, lent itself well to it, but it was just poorly executed, it sounds like. And some of the other ones are going to follow in the same suit. So we'll have to see how it goes. Halo Infinite, I'm curious to see how that ends up playing out, because I have a feeling it's going to be, an always online, type open worldish Halo game, in the same way that Destiny is, but maybe done better. But I think they have to do this because I think that the market is changing and people are responding to, these typical games differently than they ever used to.
Even if it's not the market responding as far as a huge audience buying these games, there's clearly money to be made in games as a service. There's so many developers moving towards that. That's what Fallout 76, I imagine, will become, is a games as a service. And they're all testing the waters because they see how successful Fortnite has been. Destiny to a lesser extent, but still, they're seeing success in games as a service, and they're willing to at least give it. Let me pause that for a sec. They're at least giving that moment to test it out and see if it works for them as well. Like Fallout 76, Dean, let's go to you here for Fallout. you know, a lot of people wanted them to move on to what's obviously next in line, Elder Scrolls. We just had Fallout 4. Why do you think they decided to do Fallout 76?
I don't know, honestly, because I'm not a Fallout guy, period. I've never played any of the Fallout games. But so I don't know if I can really speak to why they decided to change.
I'm sure you wanted them to go to Elder Scrolls next, right?
Yeah. I mean, the only one I've played personally was Skyrim, but I loved it. So yeah, I definitely would rather them do that. But you know, it'll get here when it gets here. But as far as the question as to why these people are taking such bold leaps, why they're doing these types of projects, I think it's relatively simple. They can make these games for minimal cost. They have separate teams to break off and work on them. It doesn't really affect their workflow on like their AAA titles that they're making, and it gets more people in the door. That's what they want. It gets more people playing games of any kind. You know what I mean? There's going to be people who play these games who aren't going to necessarily pick up their console edition, but maybe they will because they recognize the title of Diablo, whatever the phone version's called. And now they're like, oh, cool, one for my PS4. Let me check that out too. So it brings more people in for cheaper. You make a quick buck too while you're at it, and overall the company benefits. And you have more people playing games to some capacity, and they're making money. So pretty simple, I think, as to why.
Honestly, I missed a large part of that because I was going to get Vegemite.
Just trust me, it was really smart and eloquent.
I'm sure it was.
Probably the best answer. So shut it down, I guess.
I'll say though, I'm not like alarmed for the future. I think this is the normal ebb and flow. This is, you know, you test the grounds, you see what works, you see what doesn't work. They're all trying to make money. We all know that's never going to not be the case. So if it's in the best interest of the consumer is yet to be seen, but we speak with our dollar and they listen. So that's what it comes down to. It's always gonna come down
My
to that.
overall message that you missed was just that they're just trying to get more people playing games.
Yeah. And that's never
Different
a bad thing.
types of people.
Never a
Right.
bad thing. What did I miss in the chat there? I don't think so. We're good. All right. So I've got to do Veggie Gummy. And I will say this is the last two gummies, which means this is being taken off the wheel after this.
What are they?
So these are called lychee gummies.
Yeah.
They're interesting in flavor, but it's more so about the texture.
Do you know what lychee fruit is?
No.
It's like this weird. It's like a really sweet. Like imagine a very tiny, and pretty sweet pear.
Okay.
That's what it is. But these are gummy.
It has a
versions.
decent
The
flavor
texture
on its own, but that flavor is clearly overshadowed by the Vegemite, and then you're dealing with the weird gummy texture on top of that.
Oh, they're mixed with Vegemite.
I'm putting
No,
Vegemite
we
on
have-
top of
yeah.
one
Oh,
and
Basically,
sandwiching
that's
it
a really
between
gross
another.
burger.
I was gonna
Yes.
say, I'm like,
So
why?
you're
is
about to see
a
this on
wheel thing? It
screen.
doesn't sound so bad, but no, it sounds
So
pretty
I'm
bad.
now sandwiching.
Oh, Dean, did
The
you
Vegemite.
watch some of the stuff from Extra Life?
I only tuned in for like 10, 15 minutes.
We
when I
almost died.
waited because I wasn't really
Oh,
home
dude,
much
it was
that day.
bad. That was literally the worst food year we've ever done.
Yes,
Or
without a
anything.
doubt. Without a doubt.
We
The
almost
bulk
killed
of the Extra Life I watched took place at like 4 a.m. because I was out all day. And then I watched like Kind of Funny super late.
Guys, Veggie Gummy. I'm the only one that does this because I'm the only one here. Michael.
Wow, shade.
Sorry,
drawn.
bud. Nah, boy.
How many weeks in a row now is this? All right. Ooh, okay.
Wow, that's the sound, all right. Very squeegee.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
All I can hear is. It's pretty gross. Yeah, pretty squeegee, huh?
It's all the Vegemite. Ooh. Mm. Ugh.
Oh, you missed when we had to do malic acid.
Ew.
That was
something, man.
That was the worst. You know what it is?
No.
It's like really sour candies, like that white powder stuff. That's malic
It's
acid.
literally
It makes
that.
it, like super salad. It's sour. Like it's.
You just ate some of that shit.
We did a
There was
spoonful
like
of that.
a spoonful of it because not even a spoonful. We did a teaspoonful. And what's crazy is I wanted to make sure because I was scared that it was not safe, and so I looked online and there was a kid who was like maybe 11, 12 years old who was doing the malic acid challenge, and he did like a full like a cereal spoon full of it, like a tablespoon size, and I was like, all right, this should be fine. I thought my mouth was going to like just grow holes.
It legitimately felt like we were putting acid in our mouths.
Yikes.
Yeah,
I
it
guess
was
your bodies. It's not good.
It was all Poosnak's fault. He was the one who sent it to us. He said it was safe.
I just don't understand.
Yeah, I'm not like worried about it one time, but yeah, that's definitely the last time I do it.
Yeah,
ever.
Absolutely.
Ever.
Mike, where did you get this sweet black Twitch hoodie, man? I like it a lot.
Dude, there was a day where Amazon, it's all on Amazon.
Yeah.
They had all their Twitch stuff half off. So I got like
a Black Friday sale or something.
Yeah, maybe.
I bet that you'll have something. I'm gonna keep
sure
an eye
they'll
on
do
it
it
for
again.
sure. All right, the other
Actually,
one,
really
we got
fun.
Bearded in Law was supposed to do a favorites category. He wants to know our top 3 favorite games of this year. So God of War is my number 1.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, after that, I would say Celeste. And then in number 3, that's the tough one for me. It's either Detroit Become Human, Red Dead Redemption 2, or Spider-Man. But in all honesty, I think I'm leaning towards Detroit Become Human.
Wow, that's bold as shit, bro.
It was my favorite streaming experience by far of the 3.
I didn't stream too much of any of my favorite games. Games that I know are going to be like my favorites, I intentionally don't stream because I just want to play them and soak it in and not talk through it. God of War, Spider-Man, easy, 1, 2. My third one, I'm trying to think.
What else came out this year?
I'm going to be honest with you. My third one could potentially be Lego DC Supervillains, but I haven't played it yet.
You are a sad, strange little man.
I just love those Lego games, dude. They're great.
Mine's definitely gonna be God of War. Number 2, I'm thinking might be Black Ops.
Okay. Wow.
That's a good bet. So far, I'm going to say Spider-Man, and not in this particular order, but Spider-Man, God of War, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Hitman, I'm really surprised you don't have God of War on there. Weren't you a huge fan of God of War, Hitman? Very surprised.
That's crazy.
I was some bro.
I could have sworn he was a huge God of War fan.
Here's the one thing that God of War let me down on. No New Game Plus.
They added it, though.
Trophy?
You know, right?
Yeah, but no fucking trophy for completing New Game Plus? Come on, dude.
Okay.
It's like some basic shit.
Hey, look at all the Detroits, though, in chat. I'm not the only one.
Detroit's awesome, dude.
Yeah, Detroit's
Detroit was
really
great.
good. I was really surprised with
I'm
how much I enjoyed it.
like flirting with the edge of the platinum in Detroit last I checked. I think I'm like 80% of the trophies or something like that. I love that game.
Do you think Super Smash Bros. Will be in your top 3 games? No, not even going to play it, probably, so no.
You're
really?
not?
Oh, wow.
I doubt it.
I'm dying for that game, man.
Smash Brothers.
I've never been that
Yeah,
into
me
Super
too.
Smash myself.
I can't wait.
Yeah. I'm going to play
Now it's
Pokemon
going to be
instead.
especially fun because I can just take my Switch from place to place and beat whoever happens to be in that general area.
You thought God of War was short?
Man, did you play the same God of War that we did? Because
God
I
of
think it
War
took
was like
me like 30 hours.
30 hours at
Yeah.
least.
I platinumed it. I got a good like 35,
God of
40 hours
War
of
was
content.
far longer than I put into Detroit.
Especially considering, like, everybody going into that thought, like,
And
12
Spider-Man.
hours, 15 hours, like the
Yeah.
typical God of War length, and then it ended up 30 to 40. Well, yeah, I would never say too short for God of War.
Yeah,
That
I'm
was
pretty sure that
perfect length.
platinum took me like 40 hours.
I'm
or
pretty
so.
sure Hitman is laying the him dead because that is a very poorly thought out answer.
I
There's
mean,
no
maybe
way
he was
that's-
expecting longer. That's fine. I just
Maybe, but his other answers are Detroit Become Human and Spider-Man. Both
he
games
did it
are
in 2
shorter.
sittings. What?
Did you not play side content? That's on
Hold
you.
on,
man.
what did you do?
How did you complete
How
that
did
in
you
2
do that in
sittings?
2 sittings?
Were they
you sitting
both 10-hour
70
sittings?
hours each?
Yeah, like, how is that even possible?
Did you spend like an entire day one day, like 24 hours, and then go to sleep and then spend like another like 10?
He
I'm
must have
confused what
not
you
done.
did.
He must have not done side content.
Here's
I
my
don't know if
thing.
you
Even if he
played it,
did not do side content, If it took him 20 hours, which is probably what it took him, because that game is hard to finish in less than 20 hours.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the way you decided to play it in 20 hours. Like, I don't know.
There's always option C, which is he's a fucking liar.
You're a liar, Hitman. How dare you lie to us, the VIP Hitman. All right.
I mean, listen, everybody's entitled to their opinions. Yours is.
I'm just confused by it. I'm just alarmed and confused.
So, according to HowLongToBeat.com, the average of people who rushed through the main story still took them 14 hours 44 minutes.
That's crazy.
Rush through it.
I'm sorry. That's a general stat. Yeah, people that rushed through it, 14 hours 44 minutes. The average of people who just did the main story. Still 19 hours, 25 minutes.
Dustin, listen, that's your
just
own
main
fault
story.
Because we told
it's a 20-hour story for sure.
Not to do that. We told you multiple times to stop playing it on hard.
Yeah, far as under, he knows it's his own fault. He ruined that game for himself. And I told him so many times to lower it down, and he didn't listen.
Yep, we all did.
So with side content, what's the average, Dean?
Main and extras you want? Or
main and extras. Main and extras.
Main and extras, the average is 31 hours. Closer to 32 hours.
32 hours for extras.
Leisurely done, 52 hours. Completionist, which is what I did 100% everything, 50 hours, which sounds about right.
I was going to say, that sounds about right.
That's a big game. That's a really big game, especially for God of War, a game where that was not expected.
Yeah.
Well, anyway. We're not trying to get on you, Hitman. I think maybe you were high, and it seems shorter than it was.
Listen, I want to give a shout out to Dragon Quest XI as well. It's not the best game of the year, but I had a lot of fun playing that for the time I did.
Wormcoat Hellblade is awesome.
Oh, he played it in 2 16-hour sessions. Well, I mean, like, that's 32 hours.
Then hold on. How many sessions did you put into Detroit, and how long were they? Like, here's the thing. That said, I'm not trying to attack your
science
answer.
Here,
I just don't understand your reason for saying that it was too short and that's why you don't like it. When Detroit, I know for a fact. I mean, Detroit is the only one. Spider-Man, I think, is definitely the quickest out of the 3 of those that you listed.
No, Detroit's the quickest.
You can get through Detroit pretty quick. Yeah,
that's like 10 hours or less.
Yeah. So if you don't do the side stuff,
Spider-Man's probably more like 14, 15 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you blow through it, you can get through that campaign pretty quick.
Yeah, Detroit's the shortest for sure.
I made an absolutely 100% recommend God of War, not just because we liked it, but if you have a PlayStation, you should play it.
Yeah, like that's like when 7 Remake comes out. If I could sit down and play that all in one sitting, 30 hours straight or whatever, I would. But I'm not going to complain the game was 30 hours long because I finished it in one sitting if I played it 30 hours straight. That's my own doing. I chose to sit there and play that in one huge sitting.
Also, that is antithetical to your own statement. You said God of War was great, but it was short. It wasn't short. Those were 2 16-hour sessions.
Yeah. I mean, I think he was trying to say it was short for him.
The length of game was not short.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the
length of time, day-wise, was short for him.
Right. Like he gave the answer of Detroit. Like Detroit was far shorter.
How did you even do
like I said,
it?
that's fine.
Okay, if you got more enjoyment, that's fine. Yeah.
Right, and that's what I was saying. That's fine if you enjoy the other games.
That's totally fine. That's totally fine.
But saying it was too short is just a wrong reason.
Also, that would leave you 8 hours
of sleep a day.
You slept, not just to sleep. You said we would have to have slept, showered, eaten, done whatever day-to-day tasks you have to do around your house or whatever. And then you also played 16 hours of this game. There's just not enough time. I call foul.
It happens. It happens, man. People do it.
I'm calling bullshit. I'm putting my flag on this. I don't think this happened. I'll find out too.
Yeah, it's surprising to me, but you know, teach their own. All right, guys, that is the show tonight. Thank you so much to everybody for watching. We got 4 subs tonight, so we were just 1 sub away from the daily sub goal. We didn't get it, guys. Womp womp womp. We got 4 out of 10 on the follow goal. No cheers or tips tonight, so no high points wheel spins tonight, but appreciate everybody being in the room. We got into the 60s for a while there, but keep sharing that show even when we're not live, guys. Share the show, share it around, tweet it, do whatever you can. We're trying to get more people to be a part of this community, especially with me going full-time next year. Speaking of, I quit my job this week.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh my, Iron Maiden.
Oh, you did?
I did. I put in my resignation this week.
Wow, how did it go? What did they say to you?
For some reason, both of you guys are frozen right now. Well,
Yeah,
Dean's frozen.
Dean's frozen.
Dean's frozen. So yes, I put in my resignation at work. I gave them 6 weeks notice. Because I really am trying to help them have the smoothest transition possible moving into next year, because the thing that I specialize in at my company is something that nobody else can do right now. Not that they can't do it, it's just that they don't have the experience with it, so they have to bring an entirely new hire, and I'm gonna have to train that person. So I'm trying to give them as much time as possible to make that happen. And I even told them, if you need me to come in like a day or two next year, you know, I'll come in and train the person as best as possible, because I'm not trying to burn any bridges, and I really enjoyed working there, and I enjoyed the people a lot. And but it was a smooth discussion, I want to say. They were kind about it. They didn't they didn't raise an eyebrow, honestly, at the whole like streaming thing. They honestly didn't question that at all. They were understanding, which was really cool.
Did they say anything about like if you wanted to come back or anything?
They
like
did.
That?
They said you are welcome back here. So that's
awesome.
really cool.
That's important. Yeah, that's
good. Both of my bosses said you are welcome back here. So that is a nice
You're
weight
a
off the
good
shoulders.
man. I didn't see anyone being like, "You're never fucking welcome back here again."
I mean, like 6 weeks notice is pretty freaking good. Like I could have given them 2 weeks.
That's a good amount of time that you're giving them.
So that's when this is going down, huh? 6 weeks.
So I will officially start on January 7th. Will be my start date of full-time.
2nd or 7th?
7th.
7th.
So I'm gonna give me that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday after New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Get everything fully set up.
World.
Oh, nice. The one thing I don't like, I kind of feel we were talking about this on stream. The one thing I'm worried about with leaving is not getting my Christmas bonus. But here's the thing. I think one of the reasons I also gave so much notice is I'm trying to respect them. I hope they respect me, because that bonus is not about like a Christmas bonus and just for Christmas. It's about, this is to cover you for all the overtime you put in throughout the year. Like we don't get paid overtime. So all the overtime we put in, that is eyed throughout the year, and that is supposed to be reflected in our Christmas bonus. So that bonus is supposed to be about the work I put in throughout the year, and I'm giving them the entirety of this year. So I really hope that they still give me my Christmas bonus.
Right.
Yeah, that would be nice.
If they don't, they don't. But I really hope that they do, because I'm kind of banking on that a little bit. It's going to help me out next year.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of need that. So, but thank you to everybody saying congratulations. I really appreciate that. So January 7th, I will be going full time. Taking the plunge, taking the big risk. I'm nervous as hell about it, but I'm excited about it. I have Wake Up Level Up fully ready to go now. I finalized the setup. I finalized all the cool animations and whatnot. I have a little bit more work to put in on Lights Up. We're very close to satisfying that goal down there. If we do satisfy that goal, I would like to make it a weekly talk show, so that we're not hitting the problems we did before with, you know, it only does PlayStation being only once a month, Lights Up being once a month. That's not enough. You got to have these shows weekly, or they're not going to grab on. So my goal is to make that something that grabs on. Let's give a spin to Iron Maiden coming in with that sub, making it 5 tonight, so we can hit that sub goal. I appreciate that so much, Iron Maiden. Thanks so much for joining us. Iron Maiden, also a streamer, guys, if you didn't know. We've rated her in the past, and you guys should give her the follow if you haven't already. Looks like I am doing a pterodactyl to end off the stream tonight, guys.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I got a raider, by the way, too.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right. Hold on a sec. Let me do a golden pterodactyl for everybody. Specifically for Iron Maiden. Yeah, bringing in that pterodactyl. Thank you. All right, let's get on the gold jacket, green jacket. Who gives a shit? All right. You know what I was looking into? I was wondering if they had a Snapchat filter that looked like a pterodactyl, but they do not.
You cut it out.
They don't even have a Batman one. I was surprised.
He doesn't know.
He can't hear you. He has no mic.
Got it.
Oh, this is as ridiculous as it sounds. But pterodactyl for Iron Maiden.
It's just cutting out left and right. What is this cranking sound? Are you hearing this?
That's me, sorry.
What are you cranking over there, big guy?
I'm scrolling.
You got a noisy ass clicker.
I do, dude.
Her response simply lull.
Listen, I have breaking news. Okay.
Guys, go ahead. I need a rating. Dean, what do you rate it out of 10?
A 65, bro.
A 65?
Yeah, you knocked it out of the fucking park.
Holy shit. Mike, what do we got? What's my rating?
7.
You know what? I haven't used it at all yet, but let's let the chat grade us. Just type in. I'm gonna put in your guys' grades. I'm gonna put a 10 for you, Dean, since that's what you said. Mike, you give me a 7. Guys, let me know. Grade me in the chat. What did I get?
Listen, everyone. I have breaking news. Okay.
I knew what you were doing too.
Hitman is completely and utterly full of shit. As I predicted.
I knew it.
What are you doing?
Don't you ever lie to me. Don't you ever lie
Would
to
you
me.
look at his playtime?
I went to PSN profiles and I saw all the dates that he got, all these certain trophies, different ones, various ones, story related. He's got trophies dated on April 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, April 30th, May 2nd, May 3rd, May 5th, all the way up to May 15th. So, now.
But
sir,
could he have? When did he get the story platinum? When did he get the story?
That's what I'm saying.
When did he get the story trophy?
He doesn't have the platinum. There are various.
Yeah, but he was saying it took him that long to finish the story. So did he finish the story in 2 days?
Trophies for the story.
The journey begins.
Trophies.
The 20th. Feels like home. The 21st. Troubling consequences. The 23rd. Hello, old friend. The 24th. Right there, he's already lied. These are 4-day sessions. This is 4 different days.
What do you have to say to this, Hitman RX?
4 different days.
Dean is calling you out. Dean is calling you out.
Much.
I am vengeance. I am the knight. I am Batman.
Could he have synced it later?
No,
because it shows what day you got the
when you
trophy,
pop
not what day you
He
sing.
popped. Okay, he defended his home from the stranger, April 20th, 5:21 a.m. Okay. He allowed the light officer to return home, April 21st, 5:51 p.m. He defeated the dragon on the mountain.
Why are we exposing VIP Santa Claus Hitman RX right now?
I'll tell you why, because nobody fucking lies to Batman and gets away with it.
Oh god.
April
This is
23rd,
amazing.
8:42 p.m. He defeated Magni and Modi. So I've already. I mean, I could continue, but I feel like I made my point. You think twice, man. That's all. You just think twice next time.
All right, let's get my grade. Did anybody rate me
amazing.
besides? And my grade is, I spelled it wrong. Get grade.
I love this
The
so
viewers
much.
have decided. Got a 9, man.
That's a good score.
It's a good score. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Him on our. I feel.
I'll be honest with you. I wasn't.
Ah, his nephew's profile.
Just stop.
What a twist! He played it on his nephew's profile.
So he played it twice.
That's, I think, what he's saying. Yes.
We're done here. It's over. We've wrapped it.
We
up.
ran 2 sessions, bro. He says.
No way. There's no way. It's over. You've been discovered. Just
the plot
accept your
thickens,
fate.
Dean. The plot thickens.
The plot is concluded, as far as I'm concerned.
All
My
right.
nephew's profile. That's some Greg shit. Greg would be like, no.
My uncle works at
I feel like I
Nintendo.
heard this conversation before.
My uncle works at Nintendo.
I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying what you're selling, sir.
Oh man, this is amazing.
God of
Well,
War is
anyway.
the longest game that's ever come out in 2018, and you know it's 7,500 hours long.
You son of a
You never
bitch.
even beat it. You never even finished it, did you?
I love it. I love it so much. All right, Drew, I got you your streamer.
Okay, where are you sending it to? You messaging me? What was going on here?
Yeah, if you want me to, I'll message you.
Oh, I gotta do a high points wheel spin real quick. High points wheel, thanks to Iron Maiden getting us that 5 out of 5 tonight. Sony skipping E3 is really awkward, but also pretty meh considering how weird the conferences have been. They have
See,
been weird.
You're
for
the
people.
reason why they're skipping.
Maybe.
That right there.
Maybe. But he sounds like he's okay with it, so if he's okay with it.
That's fine, man.
And the high points wheel says 25 to the entire room.
Wow, way to go.
Way to go, room. All right. Guys, I will be on tonight with Pokemon Let's Go Eevee Edition. Playing that Monday, 11 p.m. Eastern time. Join me. Mike, what are you playing this week?
I know I said it last week, but this week I'm actually going to be able to finally buy Battlefield 5 and play it for you guys. So
nice.
I'll be playing that.
Good for you. Dean, you streaming it all this week?
I don't know, dude. I always try to get on there, but life gets in the way. I might.
If you
I actually
do.
have like, yeah.
If you
What
do
would I
stream,
stream?
yes.
I don't know. Probably Spyro. I got to get through them Spyro
nice.
games there.
Mike, are you
I
getting
wanna
Spyro?
I forgot. I haven't gotten Spyro yet. You know what? I don't know when I'm gonna get it. But
It's fun, dude. It's really good.
I know it is. I heard that from everybody. I want it so bad.
All right, guys, don't forget to hit that follow button here at twitch.tv/levelupshow. Turn on notifications. Make sure you get alerts whenever we go live. Rocho Zombie, thanks for stopping in, man. I met him at TwitchCon once again. Really great
Nice.
guy. Give him that follow if you haven't already. Another partner streamer. And I'm sorry you missed most of the show. You should definitely check out the archive. We talked about PlayStation at E3 for quite a while. So you should definitely check out our conversation. What else am I missing? Oh, yes. Never mind. I lost my train of thought. I'm gone. It's late. It's 1:45 in the morning.
Let's go to bed.
All right.
Again.
Let's go to bed. Guys, we'll be on throughout the week with gaming talk shows and game streams. Thank you so much to everybody who supported us tonight. Thank you specifically to our producers. They are Kelly Jellyfish, Bez023S, They Call Me Denny. We got Alex Bustos97, Dirty Habanero, and did I miss anybody? My Dark Passenger. My Dark Passenger, our producers, $25 and above, either here on Twitch or on Patreon. You guys rock. I appreciate every single one of you being here. Dean, it was awesome having you on the show tonight.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, perfect night to have you on with PlayStation E3 news and, of course, to discuss our love for Stanley and our sadness that he's gone.
Anytime you guys want to deal with my shenanigans, say the word.
Hitman will never be back.
Hitman is currently plotting my murder elsewhere.
All right, that's it for us tonight, guys. Who are we rating? Let me take a look. We're rating Indigo Charge. Let me put that in the chat right now. We're going to rate Indigo Charge.
Playing them Pokemans.
Playing those Pokemans. He said, I am here. Don't leave us, Hitman. Don't leave us.
Hey, on. He knows I'm just breaking the
VIP Hitman. Santa,
even though
don't
you
leave
are a
us.
fucking liar, that's fine.
I mean, I feel like he should. At this point, he's been around long enough. He knows it.
Yeah, he knows me, dude.
Nate Dogg, good night. Hitman, good night. Iron Maiden, thank you so much for that sub. Joey Grips, it was great meeting you tonight, and thank you so much for becoming a part of the Plus One Posse. All right, that's it, guys. We'll see you throughout the week with Game of Talk shows and game streams. Stay in the chat. Don't miss the raid. Give them the level up love. And until next time, take care. And as always, don't forget to
level up.
Level up.